Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go! It's a best of 5, Team Liquid's Clem in the bottom left side, and it's the weekly matchup between him and Storm Gaming's MAXPAX. But not only is it the weekly matchup, it's the best matchup because it's the Monday night weekly upper bracket finals. It's a best of 5, and of course, there's a best of 1 lower bracket. So the loser of this match will have a chance to defeat someone else in a best of 1. If they win that match, they get a best of 3 rematch? Actually, no. Sorry, hold on a second. Fuck, I gotta redo that intro. This is already the grand finals, isn't it? Sorry, guys. Which week are we casting here? This is 27. Yeah, sorry. One sec. I gotta make sure I intro it correctly so that I actually tell you guys what's happening. Fucking, I'm so stupid sometimes. Yeah. Okay, so the backstory is Clem 2-0'd MAXPAX. And MAXPAX has just beaten Hero. That's it. Okay. Okay, let's try that again, shall we, guys? Sorry, because you guys just told me about yesterday's results, and this is from the previous week or two. I think week and a half ago or something like that, whatever, a week ago. So I'm like, too many Clem MAXPAX results. They all blend into fucking one. Which I don't cast most Clem MAXPAX games because people are bored as shit. I only cast the ones that are either one-sided stomps or fucking mad brawls usually. Or if for whatever reason I haven't cast one in a while. Bring you some hot hands. You can put in your gloves and boots. They will keep you warm. Oh, that's all right, Nada D. I don't have boots or gloves, so I'm gonna. Actually, I should bring my ski gloves. That's a good idea. Thanks. I don't think it'll be that cold though. It's not gonna be. I think it might barely go below 0 in the middle of the night. It won't actually be that bad. Like I remember when 2018 we did the Winter Olympics tournament, the one that Scarlett won in Korea. And that was actually cold. But then we went to Katowice after, and it was when there was... Do you guys remember that blizzard in 2018 that went through Europe and killed like thousands of homeless people and stuff and drunk people walking home from the pub? That one came, and it was actually colder in Poland than it was there. That year was really good. I remember being like full rugged up, crazy warm clothes. These days, unless I'm planning to spend a lot of time outdoors, which I'm not usually at events, I just go in my normal Sydney clothes. I just wear jeans and a t-shirt and like a hoodie, and I just don't spend that much time outside. So it's only my running gear that I'm going to need to actually have like a mix of kind of, and even then, because I'm running, I'll just make sure I have long sleeves on. That should be fine as long as it's not too windy. Anyways, but thank you. I appreciate it. If you just give me one if you want. I want to try it, but I don't think I'll use too many, so don't give me too many. But thank you, Nada D. Looking forward to meeting you, mate. What dono do you need to smack sell for me? This series is epic, Muffin Man. But if you give me like $100, I will absolutely drop this right now, dude. Like my streams fucking, the sub count goes down. I've been streaming every day since I got back and the sub count keeps going down. You know, we had one really good Pigstarcraft day last week, but the previous 2 weeks we didn't even hit the tip goal. Like, what can I say, man? You know, StarCraft streamers, they say beggars can't be choosers. Like, you drop $100, I'll fucking pause this cast. I'll go beat Sal's ass, and then I'll come back and continue casting it. Alright, guys. We've got Team Liquid's Clem in the bottom left side of the map. MAXPAX in the top right. It's the grand finals of the Monday night weekly. It's a best of 5. And this, of course, is not a series where it's the upper bracket finals first. You guys know sometimes I do the upper bracket cast for the Monday night weeklies, and then we do the grand finals after, and sometimes it's a rematch of the same 2 players. Well, guess what? These guys already played in the upper finals. Clem 2-0'd MAXPAX there. So he already beat MAXPAX 2-0. MAXPAX has beaten Hero in the lower bracket, come back. And that means MAXPAX needs to win this best of 5 and win a best of 3 afterwards. Whereas if Clem just wins the best of 5, he wins the whole thing. And that's exciting. That's interesting. Now you might be wondering, why not cast the initial, you know, best of 3? Guys, I could only cast so much MAXPAX Clem. I could only cast so many games, and I've got to be selective because these guys play 3 or 4 finals a week in the weekly cups when they're both on point and playing everything, which they tend to do. They grind a lot, and it does go back and forth. So, yeah, we're going to see how this goes. Now, he's got to swap that. Good swap there for Clem. Clem's doing a double gas build. MAXPAX going Cybercore before Nexus. Very typical opening. Notice 16 on minerals, though. No extra worker pulled off minerals onto gas. Is that standard for MAXPAX? I guess when you do a blink opening, maybe that's standard. I'm not quite sure. I don't normally play this Cybercore first build. I'm a Stargate guy, so I'm always get those workers on gas as quickly as possible in this matchup. It is fun as well because as a commentator, you know, basically you get like 1 or 2 matches a year against pros you get to brag about. And I did have that one map I took off Beyond in PVT, right, a few months ago, and that's going to be my like bragging match for a long time, where I'm like, oracles are good, see? Where he walked into like 17 stasis traps in one game. But yeah, I think for MAXPAX, Phoenix are like a what? What would you guys say? I don't do the stats. If anyone records this, let me know. I think it would be 1 in 14 games where MAXPAX opens Phoenix, if even that. Like, it's an incredibly low percentage that MAXPAX opens Stargate. Whereas if you look at Hero, you never know. Is it Twilight? Is it Robo? Is it Stargate? Is he going to proxy 2 gates outside your base, proxy 1 gate? Is he going to randomly build a Nexus first? Well, actually, Nexus first is the one thing Hero wouldn't do, but the point here is MAXPAX is much more stable in his openings. He's also much more perfect. He's also amazing when it comes to protracted multitasking and just kind of trying to bully his opponent out of the game through that constant interaction. Now, one Stalker can't defend all this. He's going to recall the Adept, realizing, oh, crap. He should be blocking the ramp with the Stalker. I guess he's got the battery on the low ground, so it's more important for him to stop the Reapers jumping in. Fair call. And if he can get rid of the Hellion, that would be very nice. He's going to go for the Reaper first. Does get rid of it, which does lower the lethality of the Hellion and the Reaper a little bit, but already 2 probes down. Can Clem get more? Oh, Citizen's Arrest! That was clutch for MAXPAX. And I think Clem's probably a bit annoyed that he didn't focus fire that radio point probe. Could have got 3 there. So 2 probes, not great damage for Clem to start. I don't think it's the end of the world to only get 2 there. Especially when your opponent has built safety shield battery. Definitely not what he was looking for. Blink is now under the way, as well as a Robo and a 3rd gateway. I've got an Ursidon down there. Big thanks, Bargak, for the sub. Appreciate you guys watching live here. Squeezing an extra day of best games in this week, where I have grabbed, because there's been so many good series recently to cover, but also because I will be going away to Canada for a week in about a week's time, so we're going to be trying to cast a lot more games so that we've got coverage of all these matches before they get stale. Don't want to be casting them in a few weeks when I get home, as they'll already be Stellarfest, SC for all the upcoming tournaments, which will have more interesting results. Oh, that Hellion's very low. This is a real problem. Where's his Cyclone? Guys, he doesn't have any units. Clem can't defend this. 3 Stalkers here. He's going to try and drop Widow Mines on top of the Stalkers, but they can fade around north. There's so much room to micro in this natural. They can dance all day, mate. The medevac is really helping out, though. The medevac is really helping. They do take out a Marine. Can they get rid of the Reaper? The thing is, the Reaper can always pick up with the medevac, and Stalkers don't have great DPS, and the medevac keeps breaking. Dude, the medevac actually saved so many units there. Because every time the Stalkers would want to kill an SCV or a Marine with 4 shots, it would get healed instantly, and it wouldn't quite die. And then they'd have to shoot it another volley. That medevac actually just did amazing work. Most players would have taken far more damage, but there are 2 more Stalkers here, guys. Warp Prism as well. Bunker's not ready. It's 5 minutes. Guys, Clem, there's Greed, and then there's Clem right now. His position is crazy. 5 minutes is when you've got to worry about Blink Stalkers, mate. Blink's ready. You're done. You're done, mate. You're done. Clem's dead. MAXPAX, these 5 Stalkers are game-winning. Because what's he going to do? Hold his main with a tank? This is too much damage. Is Stalker warping at home, shuts down the Widow Mine drop. These Stalkers are ruining him. Now keep in mind, he can't fit all of those Stalkers inside the medevac. Oh, MAXPAX stays a bit long there. Does lose a Stalker, but he's already done so much to obstruct. Because look, there's no 3rd barracks, no stim started. That's the problem right now. You might look and say, well, there's not that much direct damage. Yeah, but there's a 3rd Nexus, Storm, 4 gases going. MAXPAX is denying mining on the natural. More importantly, the gases can't go down. If you can't get your gases, you can't do anything. 3rd barracks has just started. This is a disaster for Clem, who's right now pinned in a rather awkward defensive position. He's going to go for the Hail Mary Widow Mine trap. The Ursidon went over and had a bit of a sniff there. The gas goes down. Yeah, you can't take that gas. Refinery and 2 SCVs go down. The Refinery didn't even cancel. Clem's Viking is trying to cut off the retreat. He doesn't realize the Stalkers have gone in even deeper. Clem's chasing his own tail right now. MAXPAX all over Clem. Dude, Clem leaving himself way too open this game. Way too open. And this pressure from MAXPAX doing very well. Auto turret goes down. He's just going to snap recall it there. Well, maybe not snap, but pretty quick recall. Saves the prison with minimal damage. And Clem is looking dead in the water. I mean, what's he got? He's got 3 tanks, 12 Marines. If he had like 30 Marines with combat shields, I'd be like, maybe you could do a push before Storm is done. He can't move out. He does get the Observer, but like, I mean, I'm trying to think of a single Protoss player I would favor Clem against in this scenario. And I think his name's like, I don't know, 4.8k Reginald the Third, Mr. Masters 1 guy on the ladder, low GM. Maybe Clem could come back against that guy, but I mean, it's not that astronomical lead. It is actually a pretty damn big lead, but MAXPAX should be able to dispatch him rather easily from here. There's just no pressure. He can take a fourth. He could double up on his upgrades. So many things he could do right now. Reaper does get a probe. Nicely done by Clem. He's going to see no gases on this third, which is completely standard. Usually you just play 4 gases for an extended period of time in PvT. Spend all that minerals for extra gates and zealots. All right, we do have the Forge coming up on the Natty. Is that 8 gateways now? Yes, it is. So 8 gateways, a Forge, Templar Archives. Storm is now finished, of course. 4th base is there. He's got the Prism ready to do the Twister. How many Storms is this? 3 High Templar, 1, 2. So he's going to have 4 Storms across these 3 High Templar. And he's going to basically rally Zealots, and then he's going to go Warp Zealots in the back. If he can get in the main base, that'll be great. But these 2 Widow Mines are looking for that hit on the Prism. And remember, a single Widow Mine will kill it because it already took damage. Tank on the high ground, nicely placed for Clem. His 3rd command center is almost finished, but being down about 20 supply in PvT, not a good spot. He's got Ghosts on the way. A few really good EMPs could help turn the tables. That tank is way too exposed, unfortunately. He needs his tanks on the high ground in reserve. He doesn't know that, though. He doesn't know what he's running into, and I think that Prism's going to steer around. There's a lot of dead space on the back. Tanks do get some more good shots off there, which is nice. But he dodges the Widow Mines, and that's huge. MAXPAX, 2 Zealots in the Natty, one of them just attacking the Ghost Academy. Not the best use of it, but look at that. He blinks forward. The Zealots are going to go on top. 1 tank goes down immediately. Triple auto turret very quickly placed there by Clem. Pulls back from the Storms. Prism there on the high ground, though. It does spot, allowing the Stalkers and the Immortal to take care of it. Still 1 tank in the back. The Marines do dodge part of that, but oh man, they're so damaged. They are so damaged. And now with all the tanks gone, you've just got Bio Ghost. And that 3rd command center needs to pull back. 18 workers have gone down in the midst of this to the Zealots in the main base. Clem too far behind from the early game. I think just leaving himself too open to that initial Adept Stalker counterattack was a bit awkward, but then just not having the bunker. If he had the bunker immediately after defending that, I think he's fine. But Clem, I think he thought, oh, you've rallied some Stalkers. This early game's been a bit messy. I can move my Widow Mine, drop across, and take my moment. I think he just didn't glance at the timestamp. I think if he looked at the game timer, he would have realized, hey, dude, this game's way deeper than I thought. I have to build that bunker. I always feel like you should start your bunker at 4 minutes 30 so that it's ready by 5 minutes on the dot. If you've skipped it to that point, sometimes you want to get it even earlier, of course. Clem, he's known for getting away with cutting corners, and that's part of what allows him to win games. I love this drop, but he's got to wait with it. He can't go in blind, can he? He's going to try for it. The Stalkers are out of position. Good reaction by MAXPAX, though. Only loses 2. 2 probes. Drop's going to hide in the back. Stalkers are on the front. Oh, Raven! Raven's a juicy snipe, but it doesn't go down. 1 Stalker falls. He tries to focus the Ghost. Gets himself a Viking at least, but losing quite a few Stalkers for that. 3 Stalkers for a Viking. Not the best pick-off by any means. Concussive Shells was never upgraded this game, and it's hard to even think of it in this situation. 4th Command Center, 2nd eBay Armory goes down. He's trying to build Vikings. Clem, of course, trying to survive as he goes for a 2nd starport on this reactor, realizing more Marines aren't really going to help him out. That's 2 starports on 5 barracks. Oh, sorry, more Widow Mines aren't going to help him out, I should say. It was the factory that lifted off there. Going to send a Raven down south. Looks like his drop up north got cleaned, right? Or did he sneak it out, guys? I feel like maybe he F2'd it back. So I don't see that drop up north. Did I miss that? He's lost 1 medevac this game. 26 Marines. I think he maybe accidentally F2'd that drop through the base. I'll have to check for that. If you guys remind me, check it, what, like 9 minutes or so? See what happened to that 8 Marine drop that he had. Auto turret harass going to come in. There is a shield battery on the left, so I don't think that's going to do too much. If you focus fire, you can get through the healing. Gets himself 2 probes. 4 probes, not bad. Not amazing, though. Oh, a couple ghosts get feedback. Lands a few EMPs, but there's a lot more storms behind that. Trying to hang on right now. Down 30 supply still. MAXPAX needs to press. I think if MAXPAX just goes, he wins. It's 1-1 upgrades for both sides. He's waiting for +2 attack. He doesn't have a Warp Prism on the front as well, which is making MAXPAX a little hesitant. But I think he can afford to trade willy-nilly. Oh, Snipe almost lands on the High Templar, but the Zealot actually landed a swipe on the Zealot, broke the Snipe. Zealot took one for the team, man. Really well done, really well done. 3 Colossus there with range. They've got +2 attack now. The Bio and the SCV's having to get pulled back. He's got to pull away from that storm. Does go back through it a little bit. And he's still trying to hold his ground. Can he do it? Clem doing an amazing job of surviving as long as he has, but I think that's about to come to an end because we've still got another storm coming in. Does land a decent one, nothing amazing. He wants to get it deeper. Remember, the storm cast range is much worse than it used to be. The command center is going to get repaired by the SCVs. Here comes the Viking Bio Ghost. Clem says, enough is enough. You're out of storms. Let's go. But the Colossus are already a problem. There's not enough Vikings to clear those Colossus. There's still more storms coming in from behind. That's right, MAXPAX has been warping in High Templar, energy recharging them, and walking them across the map. That's a move that Clem has used so well when he's playing PvT from the Protoss side. But MAXPAX moving his army into a very odd position. That was really bizarre micro from MAXPAX there. He does land another nice storm, takes out the Raven, but I feel like MAXPAX army micro became negative. I think that was negative micro. We've seen MAXPAX have a few negative micro moments in the last few weeks. I don't think it's enough to lose in this game because this Bio is just way too wounded. But I think moving his army down there was a big derp. You guys let me know if you disagree. But I think that was a big mistake. I remember it was the PvP he played against Clem where he over-microed his Stalkers to the point of doing negative micro, where he was accidentally blinking 10 Stalkers forwards and blinking 10 back at once rather than individually blinking them. I remember that was a moment where I kind of said, I think Clem might be the better, just raw, extended periods of micro player than MAXPAX, because it was a PvP where MAXPAX was kind of attacking with Stalkers, putting Clem on the defensive, and Clem just microed his Stalkers perfectly for like minutes on end. Let's go check what happened to that drop. All right, guys, so after the drop came in here, it hung out there, and then he did F2 at some point while dealing with these Stalkers. He panic F2'd, and he pulls it over the army. MAXPAX accidentally attacked his own pylon, but he does feedback it, hits it with an Archon, blinks a few Stalkers, does get a full medevac. And you can see Clem just panicking with an F2 a bit when those Stalkers ran forward and hit his Raven. Just remember, the Raven almost died, and that just freaked him the heck out. So that's it. If you catch a Terran off guard and just make them panic, that's when that F2 button, that panic button, does get hit sometimes. And that's unfortunate because, who knows, maybe a little move like that, maybe it just keeps MAXPAX distracted enough. And it's all about buying time in this game as Clem. If you could delay the attack by 30, 40 seconds or whatever, or he moves halfway, then your drop comes in and starts killing probes and he pulls his army back, every second really matters, because when you are mining, you know, almost 3,000 minerals a minute, if you get 10 Vikings before that push comes, a few more EMPs ready, that sort of stuff, who knows, maybe Clem makes the impossible comeback. Either way, though, MAXPAX with a dominant game one, and I think Clem punished for just delaying this early game bunker way too long. All right, guys. Clem in the bottom left side of the map. Bad start to the series, but hey, that's how MAXPAX Clem games go. Both guys try to cut corners, and if the other player can find an opening and get momentum, they do run away with it a lot of the time. MAXPAX in the top right of Old Republic. Clem in the bottom left. This is the kind of Cloud Kingdom style map, guys. You got your natural there. You come out here. You've got a low ground base, usually a fourth. Third base here, pretty standard. Lots of dead space down here. Really good map for like Mutalisks and air harass and drops zooming around. You can get in behind the natural as well. But there's plenty of space behind the minerals, so you can't really siege up with like ranged libs on mineral lines or anything like that. Of course, in the middle of the map, you've got just a few small site blockers in this low ground valley that kind of goes north to south. And you've got these ridges on the sides of it, which is a very common pattern in StarCraft 2 map design, right? Is there's a valley or like an S-shaped valley somewhere, and then there's ridges kind of protruding into it that have nice little high ground areas you can take. I haven't played this map in PvT. I've played it a bunch in Zerg versus Terran, and I absolutely love Mutiling Bane on this map because it's quite big, and I do think mobility is amazing on this map. I guess we could copy-paste that philosophy over and say, well, if you played Phoenix Zealot, it would actually be really good on this map because of, likewise, lots of room to cover. Phoenix and Zealots will be really good at jumping on top of armies or looping around your opponent's frontal push and counter-attacking. Lots of, you know, lots of chances for mobility to be effective. Likewise, Clem might just want to have a big pack of Bio Ghost on one side, big pack of Bio Ghost on the other, and play that old school classic style of just push both sides at once. Kerno, thank you for the big 25-month resub. Really appreciate you guys for hanging out. Mule goes down. Very nice, Mule. Okay, yeah. I mean, looks pretty standard. Don't see any big deviations for MAXPAX. Just the Probe Scout, which he almost always does after Gateway. Twilight Council is always a little bit delayed with these core before Nexus builds. Whereas you can sometimes get your Twilight, what, 220? Something like that. Sometimes even earlier, 215. If you've done the greedier build. But MAXPAX just sticking to the standard. He's actually going to send 2 Adepts out. Or he's going to at least chrono 2 Adepts. So 2 Adepts into Stalker by the looks of it. Twilight Council is down. Clem's, of course, doing a 1-Rax expand. So he's gone for the bunker, then the second gas. Extremely typical opening. Only difference is he wasn't sure because he didn't SCV scout if a Zealot was coming. So he built 2 Marines before the reactor. Delays his reactor by just 18 seconds, about 15 seconds actually, because you don't normally have the gas for the reactor in the factory at the same moment. So it's about 15-second delay on his reactor, but it means if a Zealot had run in, he would have been able to fight it with the Reaper and the 2 Marines and easily handle it. So Clem with some extra safety precautions to account for the lack of SCV scout. He's also going to build a Hellion and then a Starport here. Depots should raise to block the Adept Scout. And the Reaper's just chilling. Interesting that his Reaper didn't try to loop around and get in here, but I think he's like, hey, I'm playing MAXPAX. I don't need to necessarily check that early game tech. And this just brings in theory crafting, right? If your opponent's opening is entirely predictable the way MAXPAX's is, shouldn't there be like a way to counter it a bit more? I wonder what is the way to counter it. Is it just those 2-base fast tank all-ins that Clem often does? What's the best counter to this style MAXPAX plays? Not sure. Because he goes for the fast robo, he's a little more vulnerable than the guys that like Mana, who will just rush 3 gateways really early. I mean, Mana mixes his openings up, but I know like if you just go really fast 3 gates with Blink, you just get so many Stalkers so early, but you don't have the robo as fast. Okay, gets the Adept, but this second Adept comes in, gets revenge. Good move there for Max, but he's got to be watching. Oh, he's not. I mean, he will get a Marine, but he's going to lose the Adept. And of course, that's great for Clem, who now gets control of the map vision. Sees the third start at 4 minutes as well. And we know that's a 2-gate Blink robo. And I think you see it started just before 4 minutes. Clem knows it's a 2-gate into third. He's playing very standard himself. He's got a tank, a Raven, second and third barracks. Now, you know any sort of Warp Prism Stalker pressure is going to be not that powerful if they rush to third. So you could do something like skip siege tanks here. Like he could cancel this tank, or well, not this tank, but then don't build the second siege tank. If he didn't have scouting, he might build 3 siege tanks for safety, right? Because he doesn't know about 4-gate Blink. Instead, he could lift this, immediately put these barracks on these tech labs, get stim, shields, medevac production earlier, and get straight onto the map. And I think... No, he is going to still build the second tank. Clem's going to play safe. He doesn't want to cut any corners after what happened last game. You could argue that's too conservative. You could argue it's just a mature, safe decision. It's all in the eyes of the beholder. Many different ways to play StarCraft. 5 gateways for MAXPAX. Raven waiting on the right side to come in and drop auto turrets. There's no shield batteries down at all this game, so Max has gotten away with a relatively streamlined build as he goes now to 6 gateways. Reaper's going to get taken care of by the Blink Stalkers. Good control for MAXPAX. Raven. Oh, he won't die. Does take a lot of damage. Wouldn't mind the Raven just going home, hunting for observers, repairing up, and then going across to drop 3 or 4 auto turrets at once. Oh! But MAXPAX anticipates. Does he catch it? Does he catch it, guys? Sorry, do I have edge scrolling on? No, I'm not sure how that moved the screen a bit jaggedly there. Looks like he does miss the Raven. Raven will escape. And Clem going for a very quick third CC. So, you know, Cure will often keep building Marauders Marines with no gaps here. Clem is powering. He's cutting Marine production right now. Why? To get upgrades, to get SCVs, to get economy. So Clem has a very like straight up economic focused rather than I want to get the sharpest possible timing. This is the details you want to look for if you guys are ever commentating or just even analyzing a top Terran player's replay, is what do they have gaps in? Do they skip an SCV here or there and have constant Marine Marauder coming out of all their barracks? Or, you know, the other way around, right? And right now we see, okay, there's a little gap in the SCVs. Might be just a tiny one. We see he queued up Marines before SCVs there. So now he's swapping more into, oh, I want to focus a bit more on my army. Now, don't get me wrong. Just a single moment of this in itself doesn't tell you too much. You want to look for patterns because they kind of show you, does the Terran really want to focus having full army production or full economy? If they're on economy, they're focusing on winning later. If they're focusing on army, they're focusing on winning in the sooner, either by hitting an attack or defending an opponent's attack. Who has the best PvT, MAXPAX or Hero, says chat? Clem. Not even kidding, Clem is better than both of them when it comes to just like raw multitasking. But I do think both of those players are very good, and it's very different styles. I'm not sure who's got the better head-to-head stats. I think Hero has moments where he dominates Clem, as does MAXPAX, but I think overall Clem's got winning records versus both of them. I would imagine Classic is actually the best anti-Clem player of late. But I'm not sure how that matchup goes on this patch since the season roll. Because last season, Classic had a lot of big wins. Dude, that was a good cancel, but this drop is caught in the north. You can't stay on the map this long, Clem. What are we doing? What are we doing, mate? He stayed out here for so long. That was so dangerous. This is 101 of TVP, guys, is you do not stay on the map in a static location. That was a huge mistake. The first rule of PvT is if you move out for map control like he did with a drop, you clear up some units and you immediately pull back and hide. You clear up a few pylons and you hide. You can't sit in one location because the Protoss naturally is roaming the map. They've got observers spotting you. You never know when they're watching. They've got Zealot Stalker with Blink and Charge, a very mobile army. So the Protoss can always bring a bigger section of their army to hunt down 1 or 2 drops on its own. Big mistake for Clem. Luckily, he saves one of the medevacs, so it's not like it's game losing, but it was an unforced error. And it's actually a second unforced error in that he had about 5 seconds of vision of the Stalkers, and he didn't react. MAXPAX went first. Like that's a pretty big screw up, right? Because it was 2 consecutive mistakes stitched together that led to that drop going down. Now comes the storm timing. Double Colossus with range, second forge already on the way behind it. MAXPAX has got that center base. He's only on 71 probes, so he doesn't have like a big economy advantage, but Prism goes in the main. There are Marines ready for it. Can they get the Prism? I don't think so. Oh, good hot pickups with the Zealots, but the Prism has to fly away. 1 or 2 Marines go down, as does 1 Zealot. Marauders on the front can hold that choke point really nicely. Raven does go down, but a few auto turrets drop, so the Raven... Raven does get feedback, I mean. But it already drops the auto turrets, holds that position. You know, Zealots are so good when they get around an army, but if you got a Marauder and a choke point like that with a medevac healing it, can't get through. Could have tried to push in for a deeper storm. Didn't want to risk it. I think that's wise for MAXPAX. MAXPAX doesn't really have the biggest army here. This is a good army for scaring the Terran, potentially dropping big storms. You can't force it. I love the ring of defense. He's got sensor turrets. He's got turrets on the northern edge. Nothing on the south. On this map, same with Cloud Kingdom as a Zerg. I always like to take this fourth and then build a bunch of spores along the edge, so nothing can get into the main. But until you have this expansion and you cut off this edge, there's too much dead space. Like building a turret there, they just fly straight past. Liberator Bio Ghost here. Observer sees some stuff. If there wasn't the Liberator, he'd just walk High Templar in. I think he might try to blink it. Oh, he's going to blink it. Wow, he goes for it. The Ghost's a little slow to react. Decent EMPs. The Lib and the Mines go down. Crazy little poke here for MAXPAX. Oh, those Colossus taking big damage. Bunch of Stalkers do go down. There's also a tank firing. Oh, it's this guy. I was like, where is the tank fire coming from? That tank got some juicy shots off. 5th base in the north for MAXPAX. Now, remember, guys, you would have heard, or some of you would have the analysis, is Protoss kind of sucks in late game. They're really good in mid game, but their late game's not that good against Terran right now, is the kind of analysis we've heard from a few of the top Protoss and Terran players. Is Protoss can dominate the mid game, get a giant economy, and then kind of, it's very hard for Terran. But if Clem's allowed to turtle up like this, and he's not that far behind on tech or economy, like he's got 2 starports, he's building a 5th command center, his 2-2 upgrades aren't that far behind. He's only down 1 upgrade right now, yeah? So unless MAXPAX can kill him right now while he's got this 20 army supply lead, this is an issue. Now, Clem's being way too greedy. He's not building Marines. He's only building 2 Ghosts right now. He's not using all of his barracks, and he's not maxed out. This is a classic Terran mistake players make, where they just get greedy and they don't finish maxing out. And that's exactly what the Protoss player wants. He moves his command center around. He's going to stim through the storms. Crazy move forward here. Clem with a smaller, well, not really smaller, but not maxed out army moves out. Gets a pretty good fight. He needs to get rid of that observer. Command center. Oh my gosh, it was almost burning down. Okay, he does repair it. That'll get it healthy enough. He's going to try and make a planetary in the front. I still think that's way too risky. I don't think he should float that out. That's such an easy blink and snipe for MAXPAX. He's only got 5 Stalkers. The Storm does zone him. But yeah, that command center move, Clem playing very dangerously. He's making some mistakes. That command center's burning, guys. 80 hit points. He needs to get those SCVs to repair it. He's so worried about the army right now, but a few SCVs do finally get on top of it. Clem's got to chill out for a moment. Getting the 4th down is important, but it's not worth taking bad fights. And whilst he is getting good fights, don't be wrong, he's trading 2-to-1 effectiveness. This is scary because there's 14 gateways here. There should be gateways outside his base. That's one thing MAXPAX has had full map control this game, and yet he hasn't dropped gateways on the map, which I think is a real mistake, because that War Prism is probably going to want to fly in the main at some point, at which point he won't have a forward reinforcement, and I'm surprised he doesn't have some forward pylons or gateways. Here we go. Army on the front, going to make it hard. The Ghost Cloak. But it looks like MAXPAX had vision. The Observer's now gone down to the Vikings, though, which means the Ghost can go forward, and they're going to try and maybe focus the High Templar. Oh, he's going to get him. He's going to get that High Templar. He gets a High Energy Templar. He's going to click on the other one. Dude, the Ghost still has 31 energy. He's building an Observer. MAXPAX doesn't have it right now. Another Ghost is going to go down. Great move there for Clem. The Vikings, with the scan, clear the Observers, and then the Cloak Ghosts are very powerful. Now the Planetary is getting up. He can spread his bio out front. He's still got his tanks in reserve. He's still got a Libra turret in a bunker there. Mass command center coming in. Now Clem's max. I'm not so worried for him. Auto turrets are on those bases as well, picking off a few units. There's still a lot of Marines in the mix. Those 26 Marines are definitely units which... It's nice to have some Marines to help clear Zealots, but they're also very prone to dying to splash damage, and that is an issue. Now, what is the late game here for MAXPAX is my big question. Because against this turtle style, you can try to mine the forward bases out really early and siege him. I think if you're going to go to Stargate, you want to build, you want to take a ridge with cannons. So probably here is the best location. If you build a massive cannon battery here and you go like Tempest Storm, you can start sieging, you know, this base and trying to deny the middle and just chipping away and kind of always having this static defense to fall back on. And that's how you use your bank advantage, your mid-game advantage, but supply disadvantage. Because remember, you've got more workers. Over time, this gets worse for you as the Protoss player. Building cannons and batteries back here, not the worst thing in the world, but definitely not the best. And I think MAXPAX is not playing the late game correctly. And this is something we have seen for MAXPAX, is he's good at late game, but I don't know if he's an expert at it. He almost always wins in the early late game. He doesn't play end game very much. High Templar, watch out for the Storm, Clem. Oh, down south as well. Here comes the High Templar. Storm does go down there, zones the army, doesn't really land big. The Warp Prism goes down. Looks like he EMP'd this High Templar as well. That High Templar does fall in the south. Some of the Zealots escape, but not too many of them. MAXPAX, he's not playing like a Mass Gateway bully style, which I think he could have potentially moved up this ramp earlier and bullied here away from the Bio Army down on that south side of the Planetary and moved into the natural. Maybe if he had 22 gateways and just played that, or if he could play air, he's got to go into that a little bit quicker perhaps. High Templar does get EMP'd and taken out. Didn't have enough energy for Storm anyway. Energy recharge has already been used. 3 cannons, a battery, and a Nexus snipe. Juicy pickoffs here for Clem, who's trading very well. Now don't get me wrong, Protoss is definitely not as powerful in the late game. Now keep in mind, with that Tempest Storm style, is that style too weak now to work? The mass Templar Storm. So because something I heard is that the Storm's still good early game, still good mid game. Once, like, it's good early game for defending, actually. The Terrans have said surprisingly it's good enough because it's so good at zoning and stuff. It's good enough to defend, and it's actually really good early compared to the old Storm. They've also said, a few Terrans and Brothers I've asked, it's still good once you got Colossus out to combo with it because you just got so much splash damage everywhere. But in the late game, it's just worse because your cast range is less and the damage is not as high. So it's a bit harder when you're trying to rely on those storms to hold back these bigger Terran armies, and you're investing in more things like Tempests that are not very supply efficient. You need the High Templar there as well. All right, mods, you know what to do. Get the hammers out. Get the hammers out. You're not allowed to put pornography in my chat, guys. Bad. Please, mods, get on it. Come on, Dave. Command Center does get sniped. Marine Marauder is going to take down the Nexus as well. Nexus does get cancelled. High Templar on the right side. Ooh! Ooh, look out, guys. Oh, he just got a snipe. Was that a High Templar? I think it was a full energy High Templar. Very nicely done. Sorry for the distraction there, guys. The power of ASCIIs. I don't mind a big girthy schlong, but keep in mind Twitch does, and they will get you in trouble if you don't delete those. so streamer don't got no choice about that. I appreciate the male physique. I'm fine with it, but you post big ASCIIs in me chat, it's got to get deleted. All right, couple ghosts going to get picked off. Nice move for MAXPAX. MAXPAX lacks splash damage behind. He's got 3 High Templar to fall back on. Oh, he's actually got more than I thought. Disruptors are considered garbage right now by most top Protoss and Terran players because they don't do enough damage and they cost 4 supply. They're 2 supply inefficient, so even though they fire a little bit faster, not one-shotting ghosts or marauders means they're just not good enough. Tempest getting some good shots off there, guys. No range libs just yet, but I don't think he necessarily needs them. Clem on 66 workers. MAXPAX, I love that he's mining this corner. If he could mine out this base as well, he's got to take the middle bases and mine them out to punish Clem for being so totally. But every second that goes by, Clem's already up on 8 orbitals, making a 9th. He's about to be on 9 orbitals, which means you've already let Clem catch up And he's going to be overtaking MAXPAX in the income soon. Here comes a big spready. Nice zoning storms. Really good zoning storms. Very well done there. Very well done on the zoning storms. That was really nice. That's what you got to do with as MAXPAX. You got to spread your High Templar, and you got to come forward with just one High Templar, drop a storm, zone it, and that sort of stuff. But once again, detection's a problem. He's got 4 observers. He does have observer movement speed, I believe. I don't know if that's Warp Prism or Observer, but he needs the observers for it. The problem is they keep getting scanned. He might need to use oracles for detection and cannons, and this is why cannons are so good as well, is because they're detection that can't be killed by Vikings and scan, which is why normally it's cannon, battery, tempest is kind of the actual core of the army. Also, cannon, battery not costing supply, of course, is really, really key. How many ghosts we got? 14. Ghosts are only 2 supply, remember? They're really good anti-zealot units, and they EMP, and they got 125 hit points, so they're an amazing front line. Only unit that kills them effectively these days is the Colossus. And you don't really want Colossus in your endgame army because they get picked off by Vikings so fast. Now, we're going to see some new Cuirass here for Clem. I think he goes a bit deep there, and we'll lose that ghost. Oh, the High Templar doesn't feed back, and he's going to land a nuke, even though he's literally standing in range. He could have been much further back on that. Easy for these Stalkers to clean this up. So they see exactly where he is. Did his head just get shot off? Oh no, that's his backpack. His backpack got shot off. Big attack down south. Sorry, guys. Viking Ghost going forward. MAXPAX supply is quite far down right now. He doesn't have enough storm. All of his High Templar just got EMP'd. He needed more backup High Templar. You need space to defend this, and space is something MAXPAX does not have. He's got no room to breathe. He's got High Templar coming in now, but that's why you need to be forward on the map. Because if you can't run back, the concentrated firepower of that Bio Ghost army is just so good, man. The concentrated firepower is so good. I do love that he's pulled his reserve Templar forward, but he needs to keep making them. Those storms are the only thing keeping Clem off his face. But right now, here we go. Clem's going to push forward. The Zealot Stalker really not holding a candle to this Bio Ghost army. 3-3 done for both sides on the ground. But the Bio Ghost, way too good for just pure gateway. There are 16 gateways, 13 Zealots warping in. Sometimes you can overwhelm these armies if you have like a big 22 Zealot warp in that flanks it. You just blink in and start focusing Medivacs down and Marauders. You just need to make sure Stalkers are focusing the Marauders and the Medivacs because they don't do much damage to the Ghosts. They take forever to kill Ghosts. Mama's out. I have mixed feelings about the Mothership in this matchup. I think she should be really good when used by an expert, but often she's 8 supply of garbage that just trails behind your army. She's got a lot of hit points, 700, and she's got some fantastic spells, but she needs to get a bit close to the enemy to use them, which is why it's very hard to use the Mothership effectively. Bio Ghost coming forward, starting to take out some cannons. Really nicely done here by Clem. And this is just so efficient. He can lose this whole drop. Like, yeah, Ghosts are expensive, but I mean, I haven't been looking at the units lost tab. Do I dare look at it, guys? Those Ghosts even going to pick off some probes on the way out. Oh, bigger than 2-1. Oh. And remember what I said. Once the Terran hits a certain number of command centers, he's actually gone overboard. 13 orbitals is more than you need. He's got full map hacks, and he can just drop a billion mules whenever he wants. Clem could throw away workers and replace it with more army. Clem's army is just so much better. He's also got libs here, advanced lib range with 3-2 upgrades on those libs, which is crazy. He's going to nuke that base on the right side. The libs aren't sieged up right now. The Vikings looking for some volleys on the Mothership. I do like the Oracle for the detection, but unfortunately didn't get the Ghosts. You got to get the Ghosts with the Revelation, as those are the Cloaky Boys. Nuke lands on the right side. 8 probes do go down. The Gateway army coming forward. Archon, Stalker, Zealot, Immortal. It's not a very good quality army. Archon's pretty garbage units in this situation. He just gets EMP'd and absolutely smashed Clem. Parading over there and getting a very nice victory. Alright guys, MAXPAX in the top left side of the map. We're on 10,000 feet now, a much smaller map. That last one tends to go into those big games because it's such a big map, but this one's going to be a bit more action-packed, I'd imagine. Wouldn't be surprised if Clem does a double gas, tries to do some more Reaper Hellion action. I mean, I don't know. I hate doing Reaper Hellion, but I do see Protoss players sometimes just crumble and take crazy damage to it. Oh, look at this guy's MAXPAX. Look at him shift-click his little probies. Trying to optimize his mining there. Goes for the gateway. Is he going to keep doing it? Oh my god, he's still doing it. So what you do, guys, you can see, you tell the probe after returning the minerals to move here, then mine the minerals. Or move there, then mine the minerals. And you just basically stops it from decelerating, whereas you can see one that's not microed, like this guy here where my mouse is hovering, you can see He's just going to decelerate to return the minerals. Decelerate as he arrives at the minerals. Which makes it look a bit more natural and stuff, you know? There's a lot of little things like that, but if you actually tell him to move to a point in the ground and then start mining, they won't do that, and it's just a little bit more efficient. So MAXPAX super try-harding this early micro just to get a little bit more minerals. I think he might be at the point where he's finally done with it. Now that there's probe harass to be done, more important things to control. Clem? You're not going to pull another SCV? Okay, thankfully that guy did shift. Otherwise, he might have died. I was like, dude, he's going to take a lot of hits. But it is a Reaper double gas opening. Let's see what happened. I just killed a great unclean one with 3 fire prisms, says Venji. What, like, what version of Warhammer are we talking about, dude? I imagine great unclean one. They never had great unclean ones in Dawn of War, man, right? Or not in the original anyway. I haven't played much Dawn of War 2 or 3. So I imagine you're playing tabletop? Or something else? Maybe playing Blood Bowl or something? 3 fire prisms is a lot. Aren't fire prisms pretty friggin' big? Aren't they like almost like a big alpha tank? Dawn of War 2 Elite mod. Ah, nice. Great Unclean One was always one of my favorite demons, man. Big rotting plague boy. Alright, Reaper's gonna jump in here. Whee! Alright, in and out, in and out. Get out of there. Mineral micro is totally worth it if your game comes down to 3 minerals after 30,000 resources lost on each side. Incorrect thinking, AI, very easy. That's actually not the way to think of it. Because if you actually think about it, there's 2 incorrect assumptions. Number 1, you're saying, is it worth it? But the question is not, what does it result in? The question is, what is the cost? Right? Because you can't just say, oh, is it worth it? But what is the cost? If you've got enough APM and it doesn't mess with the rest of your build up, then it's no cost. It doesn't cost you anything, right? Dude, that Reaper surviving is kind of crazy. That was very well played. So if it costs you nothing to micro it, then it's free. So I agree with what you're saying, but to be a bit of a, well, actually guy, I'm that fun guy at parties, it doesn't cost you anything. The other thing is it's not just the 3 minerals at the end of the game, because minerals at the start are worth a lot more than minerals later. So if you get your minerals a bit faster, say you get 10 minerals off of that mining or whatever it is, if your gateway builds 2 seconds faster because of that, or you know, whatever the thing is, and then your cybercore slightly faster, and then you barely get 1 extra Phoenix out in time, which allows you to shoot down a medevac before anything unloads because you had the extra Phoenix. Otherwise, the Widowmines would have burrowed and got shots off. Like, it can totally change the course of the game, right? So keep in mind, those things, it's not about the 3 minerals. It's about, or the 10 minerals or 20 minerals, whatever the number is. It's about getting those minerals at the very start of the game and using them to grow faster, to get your tech up, your other economy faster. That does shade forwards. That's why it's really hard. People say, how much damage does a Banshee need to be to be worth it? And you're like, well, how much did you commit to the Banshee? How early? What's the situation? Big all in from Clem, guys. I think this might just get himself a win. Actually, does he have enough to beat the Phoenix, though? 3 Phoenix versus 1 Stalker, 2 Adepts. If those Adepts shade in, and he just dives and picks off the Marines with the Phoenix, he needs to pick up the Marines, not the Cyclone. The Phoenix need to go for the Marines. He goes for the tank and the Cyclone. He goes for the big pickups, picks up the tank again. The probe pull does make that a really good call. Gets rid of the siege tank. That Phoenix pulls back. Brilliant play by MAXPAX. Oh, I wasn't even thinking about the probe pull. I was thinking about going with just units, but he realized as long as he got rid of the splash damage from the tank, it was going to be all good. The Viking couldn't quite land in time. Does kill one of the Phoenix, but he wasn't able to save the Viking. Only 2 probes go down. If that tank got even 1 shot off in the middle of the probes, it could have spelled disaster. But as it is, a fantastic hold with the Phoenix play. It looks like a bit of a pause came in. Brattok, the caster, lagged out. We are going to see a 3rd base go up here for MAXPAX. He's gone 4 gas. Twilight Forge. Very early 4 gas, man. Really going to have good tech there. Clem's still hanging in the middle of the map. This army could jump on him, though. This is not a big army. If the Phoenix join up with this, they could easily deal with that. Reaper's going to get the probe. Phoenix do take care of it. Nice little ambush. And, oh, I love that. Catches the Stalker. I think it's pullback time for Clem, though. I think this was good. Clem got a Stalker. He did kill a probe for the Reaper. But I think he has to chill. Oh, he's going to go all in. He's not building add-ons. I think these 2 barracks are going to start Marine production, right, guys? Looks like the Phoenix took a few volleys. Okay, he does build a tech lab. Okay, no, he is going to swap into stim. Okay, I thought Clem was going to go. He's still attacking. This is so dangerous. So dangerous. The Guardian Shield's really big right now. It helps the air units and the ground units, guys. The Vikings do get some good shots, but one of the Vikings has already gone down. The Guardian Shield's too much here. The Phoenix do pull back. You can see that Guardian Shield is just so powerful. And now it's run out, but the Marines are already dead. He's going to try and shuffle these tanks backwards. The medevac does do some hot pickups, but the Phoenix will take it down. These siege tanks are falling. One of them gets picked up, but it does get dropped down almost immediately. That Reddit point tank trying to help out. The Vikings are thinking about landing, but I think this is a very good trade for a MAXPAX who's going to get that last tank. And that's it. That's all the important units he needed to snipe here. Clem stayed on the map a bit too long there. I understand he wanted to create pressure in this game and then pull back. He was probably about to pull home. If he pulled home 10 seconds earlier, completely different game. Because then he's got all those units alive. He's got plenty of tanks. He could start walling off the front or keeping his tanks on the high ground. Wait for stim, wait for shields, get a big ball of Marines with it. You got a good army. You got a good... And maybe you do a siege tank push just before Storm's done. But now we've got Size Storm started, third base finished. And MAXPAX, while he's only got a small worker advantage, he's got charge, and he's going to go for it. Ooh, can the Bio defend this without stim? SCVs, of course, have to engage. Already 2 Marines have gone down. Third Marine goes down, but the rest is just SCVs. Good blocking on those SCVs. He did trade 7 of them, but it was a very necessary trade of 7 SCVs by Clem, because otherwise, if you lose any more Marines, your firepower is gone, and you do lose that fight. Now, the Phoenix count, 6 have died for 2 Vikings this game, and I think that's the most costly loss for MAXPAX, but he's gone back to probing. He's got +1 and Storm on the way. He did see the 3rd command, and it's almost done there for Clem. This still feels like just a bad spot for Clem. Like, you know, the numbers don't look that bad, but it feels like one of those games where because there's no push threat from the Terran, what can he do to slow down Protoss? And it feels like Clem should be able to go up to 60 probes and take a 4th base. And I don't know if Clem can do anything about it. Phoenix come in, they get 2 SCVs, but one of those Phoenix does get taken down. Very nice snipe. By the way, guys, is that a Colossus corpse over there on the right side of the map or something? What is that? Looks like a broken Colossus, maybe. This map is, of course, 10,000 feet. I do quite like this map. I've played a lot of games on it. Kind of funky layout. Going to float forward for the 3rd base. Terran loves the forward base. Just killed one of his own Marines there. A click. Not enough Stalkers to kill the command center unless it lands. Oh, those Widow Mines didn't unburrow. Miss micro for Clem. Normally, Clem would dodge with the Widow Mines, move them out of the storm and reburrow them, but dude, this High Templar is a problem. It does get focused down, but it gets the storm out. The Bio's already double stimmed and eaten some zoning storms. Good micro. Clem's gotten so much better at dodging those storms. So much better at dodging those storms than he used to be, but there's still a storm available. He once again dodges it, man. 8 SCVs have gone down. Clem's gotten much better at dealing with this. And he's going to come forward, but oh, that force field's actually pretty nice. The Bio can't quite move back. That Archon just killed a ton of Marine Marauder. And MAXPAX is happy with this trade. Clem is not. Even though he'll clean up these units, MAXPAX is on 3 full bases, 6 gas. And in fact, Clem won't even clean it up. The Zealot reinforce will seal the deal. That's it. MAXPAX here with an excellent hold on that first push. I'm going to have to rewatch that fight because I wasn't even thinking about the probe pull. The way MAXPAX did it was perfect. I was thinking MAXPAX's way of defending that push was about overwhelming the air units, the anti-air units. And that's completely wrong, and that just shows he understood what to do here. I did not at all. So I was like, if you kill all the Marines in the Cyclone, then your Phoenix will just clean everything up eventually. And to be fair, that might work, especially if you like energy recharge one of the Phoenix. But he's like, wait, if I just pull probes, I can kill everything. I just need to get rid of this tank. Like the first tank shot lands there, but it didn't get too many probes. I think it got maybe 1 or 2. Actually, that... yeah. And then he just picks up the tank. And even though the Marines focus this Phoenix and it doesn't even get a shot off. See how quick he was? If that tank at least got a shot off, it might have helped. But at this point, to be fair, the probes are already within its minimum firing range. So it would have just shot a Stalker. Wouldn't have really made any difference here because those Stalkers aren't taking any other damage. So that's actually really well done. The Stalkers helped kill the tank while it was lifted as well. And then he lifts up the Cyclone to make sure it can't pop in and out of the medevac or anything like that. This was just an excellent hold here by MAXPAX, and he does trade that Phoenix for the Viking. If he didn't get the Viking, might have been a bit bad for him, but I think that was just a fantastic hold. Really good decision-making for MAXPAX, who didn't know about it until the push was already at the front of his base sieged up. GG, well played. All right, guys, MAXPAX in the bottom left side, Clem in the top right. Good point from chat. They're saying MAXPAX was spamming lift on that tank, ready for the moment the Phoenix died. Yeah, I think he might have had it on rapid fire. I don't know about you guys. I imagine a lot of Phoenix players have lift on rapid fire, so you can just hold the button down. You don't need to click it all. So then all he would need to do is have the button held down and have his mouse hovered over the siege tank as his Phoenix is dying, and the other one will immediately get the command to lift it back up. Interesting. All right, are we going to see a double gas is the question, guys? And it's all about what this rally point does. So right now, this doesn't look like a double gas build. Oh, he just... Dude, Clem! Clem! He was trying to speed micro and he messed it up. He just messed it up, guys. He did a misclick. So Clem actually has just negated the effort of his fancy micro at the start. Now he's going to work twice as hard to try to make it back by boosting them more. That's funny, man. How would you put Phoenix lift on rapid fire? If you guys are in my Twitch chat, type !rapid. If you guys are on YouTube, you want to know the answer, go to my Twitch channel. Twitch.tv/x5_pig. Type !rapid in the chat. It'll explain, there's a bunch of links there, videos and things that I've done and other people, just explaining how to set up rapid fire. You can go into your variables folder and basically put it on an unlimited number of abilities and keys, which a lot of pros will have it on many different abilities. It does take, it'll take you a few minutes to watch the videos and set it up, but it's not like it's that complex. I know that sounds scary. Opening a it's literally a text file and you just like put the commands in, like the things. It's very basic. It just takes a bit of time to watch the videos and figure out how to do it. But all the pros do that for multiple abilities. And essentially what it does, guys, if you guys are wondering, essentially, you know how normally you would left click to cast a spell? You're adding an alternate. So rather than just left click, you add alternates for a bunch of different keys. So like the most basic example that every top Protoss does is for warp-ins. You'll have all of your gateway units on a rapid fire. They'll all be alternates. So it'll be like Z for Zealots. That's right, Z. Shut up, Americans. You guys speak wrong, I know. I know you get confused when I say Z. Ooh, the Zealot's going to get missed. So, yeah, you have that as one of the alternates. So whenever you hold down Z, it literally just spams clicks of that, right? It's as if you're spamming the Zealot. So all you need to do is hold down Z and wave your mouse around. You don't need to click, and that's how rapid fire works. So pros do not click each time they warp in units. They just hold down whatever the button on their keyboard is and move their mouse around, and that'll warp them in. And that's a real game changer. If you don't want to use rapid fire for anything else, that's like the main thing that just is a game changer. So you're not sitting there going shift, click, 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 click for each stalker or zealot. Zed sounds cool and manly. I agree. Zed does sound more badass. Sounds like a bad guy from like a bad sci-fi movie. Are we actually staying out of this bunker, Clem? Clem took 2 hits unnecessarily. That Reaper needs to get inside, dog. Does bait this Adept in range of the Marine and the Reaper. Now with 2 more Marines and a Hellion out, he's able to get down there. Can he get this Adept? I don't think so. Oh, maybe. Oh, he gets her. She goes down. Oh, the other Adept, MAXPAX, is like, well, if you're going to kill my Adept, I'm going to get an SCV. The Hellion and the Reaper will get an extra hit. Oh, actually, the Hellion's just tracking it. Oh, clever move for Clem. He delayed getting 1 or 2 extra hits on the Hellion to make sure that it didn't escape. Brilliant play there. And now MAXPAX losing his 2 Adepts. Has to wall off with an extra gateway. It's going to be a 4-gate blink this time for MAXPAX in game 4. We are on Throne of the Dunes, guys. Another one of these kind of small to medium-sized maps. Not a giant map like Old Republic or Celestial Enclave. I think Old Republic's bigger even than Celestial. I think. It feels that way anyway. Yeah, the original rapid fire, before people even knew you could add multiple variables, they would just add 1 variable for 1 spell, because you can do that easily in-game without opening up the notepad file, the text file. And the original was the old Ghost Snipe, cost 50 energy and did like 50 damage, I think it was, or 25 energy for 50 damage. So it was like, and it was much quicker. So you would just have like a bunch of ghosts in late game, and you would just be holding this button down and they'd be spamming like boop, 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 boop. And it would just be like, the sound effect was actually really funny because it was just stacking so much. And I don't know if the designers ever expected that many people to be, or that many spells to be spammed all at once. All right, we've got a tech lab coming up. Do we have an engineering bay? No engineering bay just yet. Should be going down momentarily. Great tank position for the main. The natural bunker is exposed. He's got to get that second bunker up. He's only got 3 Marines in there. Hellions going to deny the third. Marine drop going forwards. Is this too dangerous? MAXPAX committing everything to the front, but that means he won't have anything to defend the drop in the main. The Hellion could also go in. There's only 1 Stalker for the Hellion. It's going to try to deal with it. The drop could go in the main base. These bunkers are going to go down, and that's a real problem. He does get the Marines inside the other bunker. Can he repair it in time? Yes, he can. And that's really well done there by CLEM to keep this position alive, because he's got a Marine drop in the main, which is going to cause much more urgent problems. He needs to rebuild a bunker, though, right now, and he needs to get this third tank sieged up down here on the low ground. The Marine drop in the main, though, going ham. 8 probes have gone down. MAXPAX very slow to pull those probes. He's going to try and defend this with Stalkers. The probes going back to mining is a disaster. The Stalkers blink in the main. The tanks already take out 2 or 3 of them. The Hellions in the natural as well, guys. Oh, wait, that's a Liberator, not the Hellion. And MAXPAX just gets shut down there. Very nice game for CLEM. Just enough to defend the natural. Perfect wall off and tank positioning in the main. I also love this with the depots. So he can lower these later to have free movement around his base. So he's not actually walling himself out, but he can raise the wall when needed to block Protoss. That's actually really clever. Dude, I want to start doing this in my games with my buildings. That's actually so smooth. CLEM ties up the series 2-2. Alright, guys. MAXPAX in the top left side of the map there. The old 4-gate blink, you want to hit sharp, you want to hit hard. But CLEM read that perfectly, was so well prepared. Already had the momentum from getting those 2 adept kills for just 1 SCV in the early game. And then hitting with the perfect counterattack, right? The 8 Marines, the Hellion, and the Lib, and defending at the same time that cleanly was pretty damn dominant. MAXPAX, no doubt, unhappy with that one. We're going into Winter Madness. Remember, guys, if CLEM wins this game, it's over. MAXPAX wins, we will find ourselves in another best of 3 to see if he can seal the deal. It's an uphill battle. So hard to beat CLEM in a best of 5, let alone a best of 3 right afterwards. But, I mean, this is because CLEM, before our cast here, CLEM did 2-0 MAXPAX. I didn't catch those games. Yes, I could have. Would be nice to tell the whole story of what happened, but like I said, we've only got so much time and so many games to cover. We didn't get our hands on those replays, unfortunately. This map's a bit cramped in ZVT. I haven't really seen too much PVT on this map. Probe's going to come in for a little bit of harassment. It's almost finished the barracks, but it's not close enough that he can risk it. He has to pull another SCV. Oh, he should have repaired that. Okay. CLEM judges correctly and just barely gets that SCV off in time. He's going for a 1-max expand. You can see no second gas here. They try and cut off this probe to stop it regenerating, but look at that. Right on 400 minerals, he can't place the command center, so MAXPAX does get blocked there, but delays the command center about 4 or 5 seconds. Not a bad play, and he is going to go for that second gas behind this. So he pulls the worker back to make sure they stay doubled up. Nicely played. Interesting, what's this pro? Is he checking for bunker? Looks like he's maybe checking for bunker. I'd normally mine from that side to make sure, but I don't think with a pylon up this early there's that much risk of there being an SCV over there. Factory goes down, second bunker immediately after the second depot, and the second gas just before the Reaper jumps in, which should be about now. So he queued up another SCV, another Marine, and that's going to be the gas. It is 2 Marines, so if there is a Zealot coming, he will be ready for it. And he knows the timing to wait for that first Adept to shade out. Now, there has been a chrono on the second Adept. You can see he can go in right now if he wants, and he could confirm the Stargate. Pretty close. He didn't judge it perfectly. He wants to see the Stargate, but he doesn't go deep enough. Stargate, couple games in this best of 5, man. I was saying earlier, I think MAXPAX goes Stargate 1 in 14 games, and it's such a low amount, you don't really need to be worried about it. I think this is great that he's mixing it up like this. I think this makes him much harder to play against. That Adept runs past. I don't know if that's a good call. Cancels the SCV, makes the orbital. Nice move there. CLEM still has not seen the Stargate because he's just, it's MAXPAX. Of course he's not playing Stargate. He's playing Twilight Council. He always plays Twilight. Those Marines just killed the Adept, guys. Does he get out? He gets out! He doesn't see the Stargate, but he's got a probe and an Adept. Very nice harassment for CLEM. But he doesn't know it's an Oracle! MAXPAX never plays Oracle. Europeans have told me. Skiller's told me. He said Oracle's garbage. So bad, you just died at any push when you go Oracle. MAXPAX is like, yeah. But it's the last thing he'll expect. Where's he rallied to, by the way? Looks like he's just rallied down here somewhere. Okay, so he wants to come in on the natural from the left side. Clem hasn't been building any Cyclone openings recently, right? Other than the push he did against the Viking build. Against the Phoenix opening. That was the one time he opened Cyclone. He's going Cloaked... Oh, Cloaked Banshee is very bad against Oracle. If the Oracle survives. If the Oracle flies into a Widow Mine, of course it's fine. But the Oracle plus the Phoenix shuts it down so hard. Because you've got the most mobile detection combined with the most mobile anti-air fighter. MAXPAX has been playing the same build for 3 years just for this moment, so the ultimate surprise hits. Yeah, I got to agree with you guys in Twitch chat. If you're so good at one build, people assume you're always doing it. It can work out. Oh my god, don't lose the... Oh, I think he might have been missed a stutter step. I think Clem might have been able to land a few more hits. That Oracle's so close to dying. 2 SCVs do go down, not too much damage to begin with. And now the Oracle needs to rotate and try to scout the Banshees. There's only one Banshee out. Is he even going to bother with a second one? He is. I just don't see how he can stop the Oracle from scouting this. But I guess if the Oracle's afraid, goes home, energy recharges. It's going to be a while till he scouts again. But oh, it doesn't matter because his Phoenix catch the Banshee on the way across the map. Never mind. Never mind, guys. Clem appears to be in town now. Instantly cancels the second Banshee and Cloak. I mean, if his Banshees hit in the corner and came in really late, while MAXPAX was distracted, they might have been super effective, but now this puts him in a nasty spot where he's got to build a Cyclone. The Hellion goes down here. The Oracle's going to rotate left. Got a shield battery in both bases. So MAXPAX does play a little cautious, respecting the Banshee tech. But of course, Clem now being forced to just build up in a very standard pattern. And these Phoenix going to be troublemakers. Find themselves one SCV. Cyclone wants to chase out front. Does have Marine support behind. Wants to get him off here. Too much time in a snowstorm like this. You can get Winter Madness. It is a condition, guys. Too much white stuff falling from the sky. Some say it's when a demigod in the clouds has dandruff, but don't know, man. Does tend to melt. Templar Archives is coming in. We've got the third gateway there. Sorry, the 3 gates with 4 more. So 5th gateway just started. So it's 8 gate storm plus 1 weapons. 3rd battery as well. Phoenix fly in and get 2 more SCVs. Clem's 3rd command center has just started. Clem's going to be fighting uphill, but he is up in supply. He's got a decent army coming together. I think the trick now is he needs to build a turret in his natural and he needs to press. The problem is if he presses, he leaves himself open to Phoenix harass, which means he's going to lose even more SCVs because the Phoenix will come in between the rallies. But if he doesn't push forward and press onto the map, I feel like MAXPAX can do whatever he wants. I mean, we've even seen MAXPAX sometimes go 6-gas double Robo Colossus from here rather than rushing the 4th, and I think that's a good style. There's a lot of good things he could do. I also imagine Blink should be coming in soon. There's only 4 Phoenix for air control. Oh, Phoenix getting a bit of damage on the Metavax. Nothing crazy, but not bad. Oh, that's annoying. Cyclone gets a few ticks with the lock-on, but nothing crazy. Turret gets a few hits as well. Cyclone, can he get another lock-on? Oh, he can. And that Phoenix almost dies, but not quite. Gateway on the side of the map. I love this adjustment for MAXPAX. He's also going 6-gas and a Robo. Very wise for MAXPAX to not take a 4th right now, not overextend in terms of bases. Just go for the heavy tech. Get himself ahead there. Single Marine setting off stasis traps. Good moves. Got to be careful. There's a lot of storm. The Gateway army itself is not that big, but one more big Zealot warp in, which is coming in now. And this army will be outnumbered. I don't think Clem really wants to push. MAXPAX might be sensing that. Oh, watch out for the storm! Clem! Okay, his Widowmine's burrowing in storm is a real problem. He tries to jump on top. He cannot jump. Oh my gosh, what is this? Clem! Oh, Clem, holster it, mate. That was unnecessary. I think he just got excited. He saw the army in the open. He thought, I can catch this, but you can't, mate. Not like that. Not unless you've got a full surround. Because that storm is a very good zoning tool. And you can see the units lost tab now, about 4-1. There's 4 Widow Mines going down. A lot of damage on the units, which means the medevac juice is low. More Zealots warping in Robo Bay and a 4th Nexus on the way, as well as +2 attack. Stuck turtling now is Clem as he goes to Ghosts. MAXPAX coming forward. Widow Mine on the right side. I'd love to see an unburrow. Great unburrow attempt on that. It will go down, though, before it can get another shot off. Here comes the Storms. Those SCVs are also in jeopardy. The Marines have to pull back, which means the SCVs, they got to run through Storm to get out of there. Oh, the SCVs are in so much trouble. The Bio Army is so wounded. There's no Storm left, though, which is nice. The Oracle runs into a Widow Mine. It gets taken down. Clem with an exceptional concave of terribly, terribly damaged units. But he holds. And I got to say, that was an incredibly impressive hold. He chases with the medevac to maintain vision so the Ghost could snipe the retreating High Templar. That is the sort of fancy maneuver one expects from the best Terran in the world. Really well played. He's got gases on the third. The Ghost count growing now to 4. And I imagine we'll probably see a second starport from him. He's putting a few Marines out to try and see where's your 4th base. What's happening now? If you could get rid of this gateway, that would be so nice. Doesn't know about it. Clem's still very blind, very limited in his vision, and MAXPAX is rich, up 10 workers. Marine did set off a stasis on the left side. Command center on the 4th base is up. Second eBay armory does go down. The bio now finds this gateway, which is nice. The probe escapes, or does it? One Marine injects and goes and chases him down. That's the scary thing about playing Terran, guys. Imagine you get into an altercation with like a local mobster, and he doesn't like the look of you, but he's too lazy to like chase you down himself, so he just sends a friggin' rabid meth head after you and says, I'm going to give you so much meth. I'm going to give you so much ice, so much that beautiful, beautiful crystal. You just need to go get that guy. That's essentially what happens when a Terran sends a single-stimmed Marine after you as a probe or a drone. Just hanging out there, man. You can't outrun him, and you definitely can't beat him in a fight, because that guy, man, he's fighting for the lifeblood, his passion, thing that brings him joy. 2 more Colossus on the way. That'll be 3 Colossus. +1 armor finally starts. It is very late, which means the army will be fragile, but 5 High Templar, banking storms, 3 Colossus out soon as well. Oh, Yao walks into the Widow Mine. Prism in the main distracting him, that's why. Good little harassment here. This is really good for MAXPAX, actually. Not cleaned up as easily as Clem would like. The Vikings need to chase that Prism down. You cannot leave that. Mate, you cannot leave that. There's a lot of dead space over here. Oh, okay. Clem's going to get so tilted. When that goes in and warps in more Zealots on the edge of his base, he may actually just lose it because he's just so unprepared for it now. He's assuming, oh, you went north. Look, his Viking just went to the right to check, but he didn't check the full thing. He checked up here, not down here. Oh, and he's open on the left side, which means these High Templar could storm him. If he can get the High Templar forward, he could drop some nice storms. EMP's coming forward there, but already a few EMPs have gone down, as well as 1 feedback. And oh my god, what's happening? Dude, that was a bit wild. Zealots coming in on the north. They get cleaned up. Good split of the army, but you know what he's not ready for? Oh, Clem with a crucial mistake, and now it's going to be so hard to defend. He needs to bring his whole army back. Zealots are in the main base going absolutely ham. There's still 2-3 storms in that army. Main base is going to start taking damage on the buildings, and the armory and the eBay, very valuable targets that will be falling by the looks of it. As long as MAXPAX commits. Warp Prism flies away. Armory goes down. No ship weapons for you. +2 armor for the infantry denied as well. Massive snipes for MAXPAX as he zones the army with yet another storm. Goes to the right, but walking into a planetary may be a misplay. That's a bit of a crazy choice. MAXPAX needs to get out of here. He's overstaying his welcome. Does eat some big EMPs. The Bio Viking chasing him down. It's such a small, overstimmed army for Clem, but the numbers are finally making their presence known, and Clem able to shut this down. Guess what, though? Prism went back in the main. It survived again. More Zealots in the main. Armory's being rebuilt, blocking his own mineral line, because Clem is just desperately trying to survive right now. But he kills so many units. 4,000 resources more efficient. Clem hangs on. 83 workers for Protoss, only 66 for Terran. But as long as he can hang on, then that is good. Stalkers come forward and focus the Viking. This command center's not building. Double eBay Armory's trying to rebuild. The damage that's being dealt here is very significant, because now Protoss is ahead on the upgrades. 3-1 with +2 armor already started. 5th base mining. He can take the rich gas as well, which will be 2 gases in 1, at least in terms of the pace at which it mines. Clem goes for 3-2. He's still up 30 army supply, though, which gives him time to recover. He's going to build 5 medevacs, as these ones are just completely out of juice. He EMPs 2 Stalkers. Now, guys, when you EMP 2 Stalkers, that shows you are a little bit frustrated. Does he see the Observer? I don't want to chase too far here, man. Trying to repair the medevacs as well. I'm trying to get efficiency anywhere he can. Great EMP there. Does scare back those Stalkers, but does lose a Marine for it. I mean, obviously, good trade for him. The command center is still not building over here. Too much chaos, too much adrenaline. Clem's heart is thumping. And there is a very basic thing he's forgotten. I'd love to see a turret on this right side. He's already got turrets on the left, which means Prism in the back's not really a threat anymore, and he is maxed. with 9 Vikings. I think his ghost count's a little low. He's going to go up to 9 ghosts with these 2 popping out. So not bad, 9 ghosts at max. I think arguably more is better, though, and he finally does remember that command center. But established on 4 bases, we know that Clem has been beating MAXPAX in late game, but he can't let MAXPAX get between his rallies. Not again! Oh, and MAXPAX can shove the natural if he wants to. He doesn't want to get caught, though. He's being a little cautious, is MAXPAX. Gonna eat some EMPs. The Viking's gonna take care of at least. Oh, doesn't actually get any of them. Storm comes down. Snipe taking out some of these boys. Observer's starting to take damage. Storm does tickle a bunch of these units, but nothing too crazy. Vikings being really well microed to not take big damage. Bio on the right cleaning up the Zealots. MAXPAX F2ing. He's on 88 probes. He's only on 10 gateways. MAXPAX, it looks like he wants to just win in the mid game. He doesn't want to go to end game. Not like that game on Ancient Republic, I think it's called, earlier. Oh, a bunch of ghosts just got hammered. The ghost landed good EMPs, but he got hammered by the Colossus. Once the Colossus are gone, the ghosts are tanky. But those Colossus landed big hits. Really nice snatch there for MAXPAX, but he trades all of his units for it. Here comes the A move. Mass, Zealot, Archon, Immortal Stalker. I think we need to keep stutter stepping as Clem, but Clem should be able to hold this off and should be able to seal the deal in this best of 5, I think. But the Medivacs are low on juice right now. He doesn't have a lot of healing. The SCVs on the natural are there. There's so much. And it is 3-2 versus 2-1. The upgrades, I forgot about the upgrades. It's 3-2 versus 2-1. I was like, why is this fight not going well? It's because his upgrades aren't as good as the Protoss players. And even though he had a lot of units, he didn't quite have enough there. No libs, he cancels a command center. And Clem gets overrun. MAXPAX not letting that game drag out. Very wise to commit to the timing there. I thought that was a big enough ball of bio. I was like, you don't get through that. But if we look at it, it was after the Colossus go down and the Storms have damaged everything. So everything's damaged when that fight starts. This is the thing. So the Terran army's already damaged, guys. Some of these Marauders are down on like 85 life, and they need to stim again in a moment. And when they do that next stim, they're down to like 65 life. The Medivacs are low on juice. It's not that big a bio ball anymore. And you've got all these Zealots warping in and just rallying forwards with 3-2 against 2-1. Nice play for MAXPAX, guys. Seals the deal here. I think Clem's going to be kicking himself for letting that Warp Prism survive. If it wasn't for that Warp Prism, I think Clem is fully safe at this stage of the game and probably carries this through to the victory. But letting that Prism slip away and hide in the corner did so much work for the follow-up attack. MAXPAX seals the deal and activates the final best of 3. All right, guys. Well, it's the final best of 3 now to decide it all. The series is reset. MAXPAX has essentially fought his way out of the lower bracket by winning that first series. Now he needs to win another best of 3. Not easy, but this is the price you pay for losing the upper bracket finals 2-0 to Clem earlier today. And he's going to be going for a Poilon. Now, it looks like he's thinking about going gas first, no scout. I keep criticizing MAXPAX for not varying up his builds enough. And whenever and he's actually done 2 Stargate builds. Oh. I was thinking about gas first. He actually queued up another probe. So he's changed his mind. He's just going to do his normal gates. He was thinking of being greedy and doing a gas first no scout. He changed his mind at the last second. That makes me a little sad. I thought he was going to go full hero there and just say, scouting's for losers, let's go, greedy build. But looks like it's his standard stuff. Clem down here going for a 1-Rax expand. As you can see, he hasn't taken the second gas there. Took a gas, didn't build the second gas at about 53, 54 seconds when it normally goes down. We'll see how it goes. Probe running forward. This is Taito Citadel. For those who don't know, guys, Taito is what is it, like a prefecture or ward in Tokyo. It's where Akihabara is, I believe. Which I think I've never been there. I meant to go there, but I ran out of time when I was in Tokyo a few years ago to head down there. Apparently a fun little area. Was it like electronic stores and stuff? But then like foreigners go there and make it really lame, like everything in Japan that foreigners find out about. No, I don't know. I'm no weeb, so don't really know it too much. To be fair, all I did in Japan when I was there was eat their fantastic food. Dude, I had I had this fantastic tsukemen down near like what is the main Tokyo train station under some shopping mall. It was really good, man. It was so sick. Had the best udon I've ever had in my life. I'm not really an udon guy. I went to an udon shop where they have like the little ticket machine outside for you to be waiting. Got there at 10 a.m. Got a ticket. And then like it gives you a QR code. I check the QR code throughout the day. I get like a notification. It's like 6 hours later. They're like, oh, you can head to the store now. You'll probably have a table in like an hour. I'm like, okay, this place is too popular. You get in there and there's like they're serving like 3 people at a time. I'm like, you have thousands of people waiting to get in here. The guy's like, I don't want to serve more than 3 people udon at a time. And I'm like, oh my God. Japanese people. This is like the, you know, like in Australia, we'd be like, yeah, we're going to like franchise this and make 1,000 and let the quality drop and bleed it for all the money it's worth. But there's always a Japanese guy who's like, no, I want to serve 3 people at a time face to face and give them the best quality experience and not get rich. And I'm like, damn, dude, you guys, it's a different culture, that is. Reaper's coming in here. Dep's going to get only 1 hit off, but the Reaper doesn't get a probe. Oh, is he going to die in the main? That's dangerous. Oh, what was that? A Clem? Oh, I think maybe he misclicked or something. Got distracted, of course, by this Adept. Reaper goes down, doesn't confirm it's a Twilight opening. But Adept does go down for a Marine. Clem happy to take that trade, but it's the Reaper. That's the trade he's not happy about. It is, of course, a very standard Blink opening. I love how MAXPAX was like, should I go gas first, do something crazy? And he's gone back to what he knows best. Well, with a good start, though, so it's working out so far. Nice. Good raise on the depots. Dude, now I'm just thinking about Japanese food. Sorry, guys, I've ruined this cast. All I can think about is food now. Hellion, gonna get 1 probe. Sees the robo, sees the gateway. This is all indicative of a pretty standard Blink robo opening. I guess the only difference, like, I would have dove the alien in a bit more to confirm the gases didn't start building. I think he might have seen they weren't building, just because it could technically be like a Phoenix Colossus build, but I wouldn't expect to see 2 Stalkers or anything like that. So I don't know. It feels like a very standard MAXPAX build. I don't think Clem expects anything too different. Sends the medevac home and then diverts it, but it's already been spotted trying to head out, and the Adept's going to see it again in a moment if he doesn't divert it yet again. Oh, look, there's a little fire down there, guys. But there's no Moopy at it. Oh, there's a Moopy at this. There's 2 Moopies at this fire having a bit of a dance over on the right side of our screen. I love how Moopies are just always dancing wherever they are, man. Just always having a good time. They're happy people. Speaking of happy people, second bunker? Clem does not want to be suffering any 4-gate blink today. Losing that Hellion may be a mistake, man. Because he really does not know what he's up against. He's having to play quite conservatively. Lost MAXPAX. I mean, his third's not that quick, so it is a pretty stiff 3-gate blink pressure. I just don't think Clem had confirmation of that. He never saw the second gateway in the main. Only saw this gateway on the front. Maybe the timing of it gave it away. SCV is going to go down there. Stalkers drop. Very nice. Gets himself 3 SCVs. Makes it 4. Picks up, flies away. Wouldn't have minded him going deeper there for a few more kills. It's dangerous, but I think it would have been worth. The Adept got an SCV on the front as well, so this is an excellent start. I'm not sure if MAXPAX saw the medevac, but even if he didn't, he's got 3 Stalkers well placed. Forges on the way. Charges on the way. And this Liberator coming in, it's kind of what Clem did earlier against the 4-gate blink, but this is not 4-gate blink this time. So yeah, Hellion, yeah, your Liberator, your Marine drop's not really doing that much. There's not that big of a commitment. There's only 4 Stalkers and a Prism on your side. He's lucky to even get 2 probes, in my opinion. In comes the Marine mine drop. Oh, that could be an issue. Oh, the probes are all stuck. Dude, that's actually sick. Get out of there. Why? Oh, Clem doesn't leave. Okay, the medevac's going to try to get out. It doesn't escape, but he gets 11 probes. The Liberator hits the natural at the same time. MAXPAX faltering a little bit. Even loses a Stalker there. Wow, Clem just got really lucky. I really feel that should not have been hard for MAXPAX to defend. Perhaps he didn't know about the Marine drop because those Stalkers were a little bit slow to get on it. Otherwise, they should have been able to shut it down, right? Third command center goes down. At least the Adept sees that before it dies. Observer does get killed by the scan. Clem very happy with his position. His Liberator survived. It's going to repair up. That's just great trading for the Terran. Dark Shrine does go down, so it's going to be a Dark Templar drop opportunity. Japanese curry, enlighten me. Guys, Coco is so good. Japanese curry is amazing. I see you guys talking about it. Dude, me and Dot, like, Coco is like our comfort food for when we're in Japan. We ended up going there so many times randomly, because there's like one on every friggin' street corner. It's actually like, I'm like, this is like the McDonald's of China, of Japan, and it's friggin' amazing. Dude, Coco makes me so happy. I wish we had Coco in Australia. Like, you get an okay Japanese curry in Australia, but it's never quite as good. All right, the Zealot drop going over there. Third base is now up. Fourth gas. Robo Bay goes down. No Storm this game, guys. Straight to Colossus. Interesting. Bit of a change up. Libs F2'd home. Then he corrects it. But did it go in Stalker vision? I don't think so. Bio shoves forward. Stalkers get a Marine and get out of there. Nice play by MAXPAX. He's got a long time until Colossus are on the field, which means he's just going to be defending with those 2 sentries, the Immortal, and he's got to start warping in Zealots. MAXPAX needs to be building Pylons and Zealots. Like, he does have enough supply for 1 more warp in. I think another Pylon or 2 would be well advised because he's got to start Colossus. Stalker gets chased down. Still no Colossus beginning. What's going on, MAXPAX? You got to get that Colossus. No Chrono on it either. These Stalkers are getting pushed back. He's warping in some Zealots on the other side of the map for a counter. But can he even defend this on the front? Okay, he's going to go DTs for the counter as well. He's thinking about the backstab, isn't he? 2 Widow Mines blocking his own base from landing. Zealot DT coming in. This game got a little bit weird here. Clem's main attack is going to pull home. Does he see the Dark Templar? Oh, you know Clem has good eyeballs. MAXPAX is trying to hide the Dark Templar, but I don't think he's able to. The Widow Mines over there looks like they fired. And this Dark Templar will pick off a few SCVs. The Zealots on the right side getting cleaned up. 2 of them do go down, or at least 1. I'm not sure if it was 1 or 2. Stalkers in the middle, walk into the tanks. 1 or 2 Stalkers die. I don't think this is enough damage from MAXPAX so far. Dark Templar does get out of the scan. We'll force the second one. Well done. Pig, do you mean Coco the streamer? Yeah, she's definitely a Japanese curry chain in Japan. That's definitely who I'm talking about. When I'm watching her on her stream while she like cheeses people with her Protoss timings, I'm always like, but why? How does she play StarCraft so good on her stream while also making fantastic Japanese curry as an entire chain of restaurants? That's a great question, Twitch chat. Once again proving you guys have a higher IQ than the YouTube comment section. Jeez. Thought the bar was pretty low, but... I'm just kidding with you guys. Zealot's gonna get tagged. Marauder not gonna be able to chase it down unless he wants to keep injecting though, and he doesn't choose to. Extra Colossus does pop out. That's 2 Colossus, 1 Immortal. Clem's supply is still pretty juicy, and remember, there's no armor upgrades, so these Zealot armies can crumble pretty fast. A couple Marine spotters get cleaned up. Tanks are in the open. I don't think MAXPAX is kind of getting zoned from his own base. The tanks are going to get caught, though. Ah, Clem way too ambitious there with his greed. Then again, it does bait MAXPAX forward. I don't know if the force fields are enough here. Oh, great final force field. The tanks get cleaned up. Dude, MAXPAX clears all the tanks. That was really good job of getting out of a bad situation. I also love that he warps in a new sentry, guys. I think warping in a new sentry recalls the army to the left so he can regroup. These Zealots are going to run away. That was very elegant from MAXPAX. That was a scary position, but he gets rid of all the tanks. Clem being too cocky, just assuming MAXPAX was going to back away, and MAXPAX caught him out for it. He's now got a second Forge, Templar Archives on the way. 4th base is fully mining. He's taken a few more gases. I really love the way MAXPAX played this last minute or two. And guess what? 4th command center has just started. 2nd starport only now begun. Clem does have a Viking watching for warp prisms, but it really feels to me like he's now, yeah, in a bit of a dicey spot. He's building a bunker. You can tell he's like, okay, this is a little scary now. There's Colossus on the map. He's got 7 Vikings, though. Okay, he does have a good Viking. Okay, I was looking at that army, I was thinking, he's in a bad spot, even though his supply is good. Now I see this army, and I'm like, oh, he's okay. He's got, like, 8 ghosts. It's cool. He's got 8 ghosts and 7 Vikings. I think he's fine. His upgrades suck, though. Hasn't started +2 yet, while 3-1 is starting for Protoss. I'm a little behind in going to the late game. Nice blink there for MAXPAX to dodge the Widow Mine. Good snipe on it. Oh, don't know what he's doing. What were you doing over there, mate? +2 attack coming in for the bio. Ship weapons have started. 4 Vikings building at a time. Well, do you really need 4 Vikings, though? You've already got 9 Vikings. That's too many. Clem is overbuilding Vikings. I don't think he's looked at how many Vikings he has. I don't think he realizes. He's going to 14 Vikings. What? 12 is the absolute max against this Colossus count, at which point you're on equal supply, which is more than enough. Because they don't do anything against any other unit. And he stops now, but Clem overbuilding those. Liberators would be a bit more generic, maybe a few more medevacs, because he's only got 4 medevacs. The bio there trying to defend the Colossus doing fantastically well. Once the Vikings get here, that's going to be an aid, but the thing is there's Storm as well. High Templar coming forward. One of those feedbacks does land. The bunker surviving for a bit longer was very nice, but these storms are brutal. Can't be letting these storms zone your army. It's a very cramped area. The Vikings did shut down the Zealot warp in. He's going to defend the Zealots in the main, but that's a distraction, which means MAXPAX takes advantage, moves forward. If he can get that High Templar. Ooh, the double EMP missed. Great bait there for MAXPAX. Lands a fantastic storm. One Colossus goes down, but really good play by MAXPAX to dodge that. Then again, main base does get cleaned up. Clem can finally regroup. He needs medevacs right now. He's only building one. He's still got 14 Vikings. He's got so many Vikings. MAXPAX, on the other hand, I think is doing things really well with this sort of mid-game pushing style he wants to play. He's got 7 new High Templar up. He's going to spread them out a bit, so he's got them to fall back on. I don't really like the Archon morphs very much. I think there's more than enough EMPs to deal with it, but who knows, if the game gets messy, they could help. 5th base is up for him as well, and he's going to 14 gateways. The one thing I really want to see more of from MAXPAX is forward gateways. Because if this prism goes down, he doesn't have a forward warp-in point. It's just so cheap to build those gateways on the front, so you can always warp in units wherever you need. High Templar gets sniped. The Storm already doing some good damage. Another Storm comes forward. He doesn't really have an EMP Ghost that far forward, but almost all the Colossus are gone. One new Colossus rallies in, but the Vikings have definitely done their job. And Clem using some very nice scans. Those 4 High Templar in the back, though, do have very juicy attacks available. The new Colossus takes down 2 Ghosts. Really well done. Great bullying micro from MAXPAX. I do think over time Clem will survive, but it's the lack of healing. He's just not got enough medevacs. His bio army cannot afford another stim. He needs to purposely like zone here, use this to create space, and do not stim. Because if he stims, he's in trouble. Planetary on the 4th will defend any Zealot run-bys. Extra command center comes in, +3 weapons, +2 armor, +2 ship weapons. MAXPAX doesn't seem to have a transition. That's what I'm worried about for him. No forward gateway, like I said. He doesn't have a back-in warp-in point. This was the moment he could have won the game. If he actually kept fighting and kept warping in with a forward gateway, it's game over. I don't think Clem would be able to heal in time. Now he's got 10 medevacs. Now he's got time to heal. He should repair his Vikings as well. But also, we're rebuilding Colossus. Why are we rebuilding Colossus? So far, you've traded 3 Colossus for 5 Vikings. There's 11 Vikings out. MAXPAX doesn't seem to have a game-winning plan here other than out-micro Clem. That relies on Clem making a mistake. I don't know about you guys. If I'm playing Clem, I'm not relying on him making a mistake. And even though MAXPAX is one of the best players in the world, I don't know if that's a good idea for him either. Nice double drop. He wants to throw his Marines away. Clem is happy. He's overbuilt Marines and medevacs a bit. So he wants to trade these away from a big direct fight where they just die to Colossus and Storm. It's actually a very clever move by him. He can replace those with now the Lib-range transition that's on the way. His main army comes forward. Clem asserting dominance. You need space as MAXPAX. You need space. He needs to go forward with the Colossus and spread the High Templar back. He's got to get rid of those ghosts. He does land some nice feedbacks and a juicy Storm to tickle the Vikings. Maybe not that juicy, but it does some damage. The medevacs are finally gone. But MAXPAX, all of his High Templar are EMP'd. His Archons are disappearing. And that's such a dominating battle there. That could be game. Even with the reinforcements coming from the north, it's all about this Storm. Is that Storm? Big Zealot Warp in Big Storm. Good pullback here. I thought that was going to be game over there with just how much Clem dominated the start of that fight. MAXPAX with the big warp-ins. He does have 16 gateways of Zealots. Really nicely done. Stalkers could easily take out that medevac. Doesn't even save the Ghosts. Medevacs have already used their boost. Dude, he's going to chase him all the way home. This is where the mass gateway style does well. Clem, he does have 8 barracks. The Liberators coming in are going to save his bacon. Those 10 Vikings heavily damaged. Once again, rebuilding Colossus into Vikings. I'm not sure how I feel about it. There is a Dark Templar on his face, picking off his bio. Clem needs to pull back. He should not be taking a 5th right now. Clem's in danger of getting overrun. And yet he cockily stands out front. He needed to be pulling back into a defensive position. He's getting overrun. The Zealots and Stalkers are ruining him. All the Vikings die to the Archons. Oh my gosh, Clem! He needed to gather his forces, but he overcommitted with the counterattack. He needed to slow that game down and turtle it out. But Clem unwilling to play as patiently as he could. And what started as an excellent engagement, crushing those first units, was not enough. So check this out, guys. That first fight was amazing. Should he have ran away right afterwards? I'm not sure. But you can see his army's already heavily damaged. And this is an amazing fight because there's no Storm left. The Archons get EMP'd to smithereens. He does accidentally load 2 Marauders up, but he clears a lot of important units. The Vikings trade pretty well. And then he tries to run, but the reinforce of Zealots is so big and so huge. And he actually just gets kind of jumped on top of, and he boosted his medevacs too early, I think. I mean, it does allow him to heal while they're moving back a bit, but maybe he would have been better doing a mass pickup and boost away, lose 1 or 2 full medevacs, but, you know, hopefully save most of the units. He loses so much in the retreat. And imagine if there was a forward gateway warping in to reinforce a bit closer. It'd be even worse for Clem. But as it is, the fact that he stabilized, he should have immediately pulled back up this ramp. He shouldn't be building medevacs. He should be building liberators right now. He's got 7 medevacs. He should have immediately pulled back to this high ground, get behind these command centers, buy any time he can. Clem just let his guard down. He's got no units. If you give him another minute to build Marauders, Marines, Ghosts, it's good. But right now, what's he building? Medevacs, ship weapons, and he's trying to take gases out here. His barracks aren't even fully producing. This is building a Marine. That's only building 1 Marine. This one's not producing at all. He wasn't even mass producing. This was a pretty big blunder. I think Clem had a chance to stay alive in this, but hats off to MAXPAX for chasing him down and staying decisive. Really well played by MAXPAX to win game 1. After this early game seesawed in his favor, then in Clem's favor, then back in MAXPAX's favor. This one went really back and forth, but MAXPAX stayed focused on I want to win in the early late game. I don't want to drag this out. All right, guys, going into the next one. MAXPAX with a nice win, but now we're going into a very odd map. Don't see this too often. Celestial Enclave. You get an inside base with 5 minerals, 1 gas, and a worker-only path. People can come in there and proxy in your back door. And you get another base at the front, and then you've got this big area, and then there's destructible rocks over to this base. So very interesting layout. I've played a bunch of interesting Zerg versus Terrans on this map. Haven't played this matchup much here either, so really curious to see how it plays out. And I imagine both players expand to the front first. The question is, do they take the base in the back? And if so, how early? Or do you expand along the straight line? Just take all these fresh bases and MAXPAX goes to the top left. I imagine Clem as a Terran usually expands towards the Protoss, right? So he might just take this third, maybe take this as a 4th base in the back that's easy to defend. Thank you, Aurelius, for the sub. Appreciate it, my friend. All right, so the probe's going to get in here. What's he going to see? Double gas. Hello. Cheeky double gas. He might be thinking, oh, but he didn't see the gas. He saw the workers going in that direction. He knows what's up. Mary Curie discovered radium. Or she discovered it kills you. Or she discovered it. Or both. Nice. I think she's one of the great people in Civ, right? That's how I know famous people, is if they're worth recruiting in Civilization or not. Next is coming up on the Natty. Second gas. It's a very standard opening for MAXPAX, nothing too crazy. The question is Clem going to risk going for the low ground command center? If he does, it's probably a 2 Reaper Hellion. Yeah, 2 Reaper. So I think this Depot SCV will go down here to start the command center. Notice he's already pulled 3 workers off gas. We just wanted a nice quick factory, bit of extra gas to get the factory, as well as the second Reaper at the same time. Ooh, Reaper's pulling back. Okay. All right, guys, we've got a Stargate yet again. I love the mix-ups here for MAXPAX. He's playing a very kind of hard-to-read style. I think he'll go Phoenix as well. I think he will go Phoenix and try to just shut down the aggression. 2 Adepts are easily going to push back 2 Reapers. It's when the Hellion arrives, these guys can get around the Adepts and kind of come from a shocking angle. That's where MAXPAX could be in trouble. Look at the way he's zoning. Oh, but they ambush, Ooh, 2 Reapers and a Hellion in the tall grass. Clem needs to pull to that right side. Does lose the Reaper, but he gets an Adept, so it's a... Oh, he doesn't get it! He doesn't get the Adept. I thought it was going to die. It gets away with 5 hit points, heals up on the battery, and Clem loses the early game. Not only that, he's been blocked out, which means he doesn't know about the Phoenix, and he's going medevac. So he's probably going to go for like a Marine mine drop. He's already got the Widow Mine in the natural. He'll fly in. If the Phoenix can catch that drop and shut it down, MAXPAX will have a massive advantage. Extra gateway comes up. Siege tank starts as well. Okay, this is bad. These Phoenix are gonna... this is actually good for Clem because he has a chance to turn around. He has a chance to turn around. He's got boost available. Okay, that's really good for Clem. If those Phoenix waited, that would have actually been much better for MAXPAX. MAXPAX going 4 gas. Is he going to go Robo, or is he just doing Quick Storm and Charge at the same? Because he did this before where he rushed 4 gas before going into a more standard style off of the Phoenix opening. Hellion trades for an Adapt. This Reaper should escape. And there we go, Twilight Council and Forge. Yeah, so it's 4 gas into Twilight Forge. And then the third base. Does he take the base in the back? He's built 2 pylons over there. Phoenix going to fly and pick off a few SCVs. Nice pickoffs there for MAXPAX. Feels like he's still got Clem very well contained. And the tech is just getting into a really good spot. Okay, so no, the pylons in the back are just a spot. He's going to build third nexus there. I think he needs a pylon here. Actually, I feel like just having this shadow here and here is like a little dangerous in case drops come in unnoticed. Medevac. Okay, charge is on the way. 3 gateways up, 4th gateway comes in as well. Phoenix picking off an SCV. Third barracks getting ready to swap over. It is a full commitment to charge, guys. No blink first, stopping at 5 Phoenix. So MAXPAX is going to keep this limited amount of air control. If he loses a few of these to Widowmine, to Viking, to Marine, it could be an issue. He goes deep. A little risky, but 2 SCVs, still 0 hull damage on these Phoenix. That's excellent. This is so good for MAXPAX. And now he's going to go to Storm. He's got charge on the way. He's going to head towards 8 gateways. Look at this, 4 more on the way. So that's 8 gateways once these 2 finish. Clem, he's got his third just now started. Oh man, I kind of wish Clem was going for some sort of all-in to hit just before Storm finished. I actually think a boy pool is his best chance. If he were to go right now with a boy pool, but you can see he's cutting Marine Marauder production. He's focusing on SCVs, he's focusing on upgrades, and that means he's not thinking of that. And once Storm's done, MAXPAX mining a third base for at least a minute, probably 2 minutes before this third gets fully established is going to be an issue. Phoenix pulling back. Robo goes up in the natural. 2 more gases. So it's once again MAXPAX loving this 6 gas style. Oh, he eats a Widowmine. He tried to go over the high ground to block the vision. Doesn't work out. That's good. 1 Phoenix there. Oh, Clem's going to go for a Doom drop. But look at this Chad pylon. Oh, wait. He doesn't see him. He doesn't see him. He goes past. Oh, he flies over the dildos. Oh, that's why he follows the dildo path. Very nicely done. They told him where to go. Oh no, this is bad for MAXPAX. He's in such a good position, but having this appear as a surprise attack is dangerous. Then again, the pylons will give him a moment to move. If he can zone it with Storm, he's fine. Okay, 2 pylons, not the end of the world. Clem realizes, I'm not going to risk going in there and getting caught by the Phoenix on the way home. The Phoenix already recalled, guys, to try to get back, and I love that Clem pulled back. I also love that MAXPAX is actually building forward gateways. He's got so much map control. It's one of those things he does not do enough, and it makes such a big difference in your play. Widowmine does kill a probe as the pylon rebuilds. 4th base is up in the top left. So MAXPAX did go along the very edge of the map, and so is Clem. It's interesting. I didn't expect Clem to go along the edge of the map. Thought he would expand like 3rd here, 4th here, or something like that. But Bio coming out. Ghosts are just now joining the field. They're not ready yet. Bio trying to bait some more storms, not able to. There's no blink, right? It's on the way, but it's not here. And there's only 4 Phoenix, so you can always just shoot down these Phoenix as they chase after you. Oh, he tries to pick up and drop. Bad call, bad call. Unload, unload, unload. He's going to try and siege up and hold that position. The Widowmine in the tank shot do scare MAXPAX away temporarily. Zealot Warp on the right side takes a Widowmine hit, but then they do clear it. Great split of the army for Clem. Clem is so good at quickly splitting his army. Of course, the Prism rotation's coming in, and Clem a bit too occupied. It's a somewhat predictable move. Thankfully, his depot does spot it. Clem needs to chill. He's going to stim a pack of bio into the main. Uh-oh. The front. Clem, watch out. Clem, watch out. His bunker's going to go down. His bio and SCVs are trying to defend. Thankfully for him, the High Templar are far behind. The bio will defend in the main very well, but it's the storms on the front that could be problematic. Only 4 SCVs have gone down, but the bio is so wounded. This position will get ransacked. Can MAXPAX clear those SCVs? Because the reinforcer's going to come down. He can't deal with that. Can he get rid of these SCVs? Uh-oh, good storms on the army, but I think Clem's dodging them. He gets the SCVs out. That's the most important thing. Clem has a better army. It's just MAXPAX was out positioning him. MAXPAX needs to leave now. He's staying too long. Zone and run. He does a nice storm to zone. He's got to run. MAXPAX, he's going for another big Zealot warp in. He's committing. Okay, maybe that'll work, actually. Getting the Zealot warp in the back. There's a big pack of Marines ready for it. They are going to pull back to a nice choke point. SCVs are going to fight as well. Storms on the front, trying to get in there deep. Good pull away, and a lovely EMP on those High Templar, which means they will go down. The Marines in the main do clean it up. 9 SCVs fall, though, and MAXPAX is on 4 bases. That being said, hasn't transferred to the 4th, despite his main being oversaturated for the last minute. The forward gateway goes down. The Prism doesn't pull away. Blunder for MAXPAX. Losing that Prism unnecessarily, and still not transferring to his 4th. What's going on? A little bit chaotic there. MAXPAX got caught up in the heat of the action, I think. And remember, he's still only on 1 forge. Needs to start +1 armor. I think that's much more important than +3 on the Colossus, personally. As good as +3 is for Colossus, it's a much more expensive and slower upgrade. He's going to go for it anyway. It'll take almost 2.5 minutes with 2 chrono boosts to get there. Observer does see everything. Clem's just licking his wounds. Double eBay armor, he's only now going down. Even though Clem's ahead in supply, if he doesn't do something with that supply, like a counterattack, which is going to be hard because those Zealots are going to run in and force him home probably. It's going to be tough. EMP's the Observer to take care of it. Scans are a premium, whereas EMPs he's got plenty of. MAXPAX, he's up on 77 workers. His 4th's now fully mining. He's got Storm and Colossus. So MAXPAX should be stable. He's just got to be a bit worried about his unit count. Like, he's only got 5 Stalkers. I'd like him to get up to 10 so he can, like, really easily focus fire the Vikings. Even after 1 or 2 Stalkers die, he'll still be able to one-shot them. I don't know what that was. Was that another Observer or something? I don't know. You guys, I think it was a probe. Did he just send a probe in the back door to try to build a proxy, maybe? Ooh, bit of a lag spike there. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, 5th base is up with the rich gas in the middle. Does need to start mining that, does Maxi. He's still probing. Okay, this might be a little high on the probes for MAXPAX. He's on 10 gateways. He's got good splash damage, so I love him taking a forward position. But what can he do with this position? Clem doesn't know he's there. Okay, now he does. Sensor Tower does see him as he moves into this area. Clem's got an army on the left. Oh, Daddy! Oh, Daddy Longlegs caught out in the open, but the Marauder's not paying attention. He's too distracted by the Warp Prism. The Prism jukes back into the pocket base, and the Marines don't see it. This is really good. Zealots on the left get cleaned up on the right side. He's got to focus on this, which means the Zealots in the back could ruin him. Luckily for Clem, the Zealots get distracted by the missile turrets. He's going to try and defend with his rally in the main. Can he defend the front at the same time? This is so hard to pull off, but there's no Storm until they're all the way back there. Storms are pretty far away. A few ghosts do go down to the Colossus. Massive bio in the main. Maybe too much. He may need to reinforce the front. The Vikings may need to go out to deal with those Colossus. Great Storm there, but good pullback to dodge it. The Prism is still alive in the back, but I think he needs to reinforce the front with the bio. Then again, MAXPAX army is so small. Maybe not. Immortal Storm rebuilding. +1 armor. Still not done. Clem's upgrades are so slow, though. They're so slow. Finally, 2-2 is going to be finishing in about 30 seconds. Desperately needs that. He's got his 8 racks. He's got his 2 starports. He's going to try and build a command center on the front. The planetary is erect over here. That's going to buy him a bit of time, but he's got to keep track of this army. Vikings do catch that full Prism. 4 Zealot Tower inside. Clem sends a lot of his army left, realizing we've got to be careful, and I love this sensor tower. He needs warning of this army approaching so he can rotate to deal with it. Another sensor tower here as well. Good idea. There's observers all over. I really love the observer massing for MAXPAX. Not enough Protoss players do this. He's going to go Dark Shrine. He could go Blink and try to like blink on a planetary over here with, you know, if he pulls Clem's army out of position. Oh, Stalker's going to try and find a Viking. Not able to get it. Bio Ghost will push him back. Got to watch out for the storms. Eater Storm does Clem, but this is the Modern Storm. Heal that pretty well. Modern Storm not as high impact as the old one. Oh! Get some snipes and EMPs! The Ghost's got to be careful, though, about moving in range. A Colossus and a High Templar do go down, though. And you know when Clem's on the warpath like that, removing all your storm, that's where you're in trouble. MAXPAX is getting better at spreading High Templar in reserve. He used to never spread reserve Templar. He's starting to do that. The problem is right now Clem's building mass command center. Clem's getting to late game. As long as Clem doesn't overextend like in the previous game, just turtle to range lib. And like, what's going to happen? He's got Caduceus Reactor on the way for his 11 medevacs, so they never run out of energy. He's going to try and defend, but these command centers are exposed. Decent EMP to start, but the Archons are still pretty tanky. Planetary needs mass repair. Army's going to come from the right side. Big zoning storm, but the army, half of it moves through, forcing the other storms out. The Bio can eat a little bit of that storm, no worries. The Vikings get rid of the Colossus. MAXPAX gets absolutely destroyed. I mean, the arc of units coming in from such an angle was massive. Zealot run by comes in from the south, but a quick SCV pull away. I think Clem can deal with this, and he's actually not even pulling back. He's still going forward. The mad lad. Clem does not want to give up map control. He is sick of defending. He hates defending. He loves attacking. Sends part of his army home, but he's still got mass command center building. I think only one command center got cancelled up here, or maybe even killed. Looks like cancelled, as we don't see it on that tab. This little army is not big, but now it's threatening. MAXPAX feeling a little bit more claustrophobic. Never broke these rocks, which is, I think, a mistake for him. He also hasn't taken this base in the back, which he'll have to be taking soon. But that's a 5 mineral base. That's a 5 mineral base. It's not an abundance of minerals as the game goes on. He said he's going to take this one. Well, that's crazy. Zealot does see this army. Still great observer placement everywhere. And remember, you can't F2 anymore as Protoss, or these observers will get pulled to wherever you're F2ing. 6 Liberators on the way. Advanced ballistics, almost done. +2 ship weapons, almost done. This next power spike is about to be deadly. A lot of Protoss players don't like playing late game. I've talked about how Classic isn't really a late game Protoss. He's like a late mid game, an early late game Protoss. But if you go to end game, MAXPAX is the same. I don't think MAXPAX can deal with a big range lib army. I feel like at this stage of the game, 125 hit point ghosts, range libs, especially with the libs now sieging much quicker, not being as awkward when you're sieging lots of different libs where they used to all kind of take turns sieging. They would be a bit slow. Even if you'd tell them all to siege up, they'd derp around a bit. The new lib behavior in the end game when you've got mass orbital is amazing. He's only got 5 orbitals so far. He's been focusing more on getting planetaries up on these bases. And he is building a second Ghost Academy because he wants more nukes, I guess. Second armory as well. Be funny if he couldn't find his Ghost Academy, forgot where it was, so he builds another one. But I think that's so he can make 2 nukes at a time. Very good choice. Now, MAXPAX has a mineral bank, but we know that MAXPAX doesn't really have a late game plan other than add a few Tempests and see what happens. Like I said, guys, remember late game. If you're going to embrace late game, look at this ridge. If you cover this with cannon batteries, spread High Templar around, and have 6 Tempests, what can Clem do against? Like, it's so hard for Clem to break out. But MAXPAX does not know how to play that style. It's not in his repertoire. There's very few players who play that style, but some of the guys who were playing back in 2016 got really good at that. Harstem, I think, would actually do a really good job of setting that up. Of course, getting to this position the way MAXPAX does, most Protoss players can't do that against Clem. So even if they've got that technical late game down, it's tough to even get here. Good dancing on both sides. Neither side taking massive losses. We can see the units lost tab 2-1 in Clem's favor. His trading's out of this world. He's got a planetary up there. He's got libs guarding that base as well. Observers are getting taken out. Nice EMPs on this army. That also is what revealed the Observer. The Zealot Archon has to pull back here. The Vikings kind of chasing, but not quite able to finish those Colossus. Now, you know MAXPAX is desperate. He's going to build 2 Disruptors, guys. They are for supply. They don't one-shot a Marauder or a Ghost. The problem is the supply heaviness of those Disruptors, you know. They do shoot every 17 seconds rather than 21 seconds now, but even with that attack speed increase, it's still hard to make a lot of Disruptors worthwhile. 2 is not bad. I don't mind 2 in the army. Just another thing for Clem to dodge. A bit more high impact sudden splash damage rather than the Storm as well, so if a Disruptor lands in the army, it can be game changing. Okay, nice Nexus snipe, but look at this move. Ooh, Orbital's in the open. They're both trying to lift away. MAXPAX gives up his base on the right side. Dives in here. He's going to take out a planetary. 2 orbitals are on fire. One of them's going to go down. Clem bringing his army back. Clem moving out of position and giving up the center gets punished. MAXPAX might be able to finish this series off with a crisp 2-0. His army's still not amazing if Clem can bring the whole force to bear, but that is a big if. Storms on the Vikings, nice. Those Stalkers should be fighting, I believe. Oh, great second Storm. Stalkers maybe should turn just to try to pick off these Vikings. Only one Colossus looks like it's going to be able to escape from here. Good retreat from MAXPAX, who sends a bunch of Zealots in here. He's got Zealots going into the main base. You can see the upgrades now, 3-3 for Protoss on the ground, +1 air weapons. He hasn't gone Tempest or Mothership just yet. Second Armory will be kept alive. MAXPAX still has a mineral bank, but so does Clem now. Clem, he's got good reproductive abilities with those 3 starports. Libs there scare him away, even though one of them does go down. Command Center on the right side trying to wreck. That is a Chad move for Clem. Clem is trying to bully MAXPAX off this sense of right base. Incredibly hard to defend, but MAXPAX not willing to give it up, and MAXPAX cannot be fighting here. Bad choice for MAXPAX to go down there. I think losing some probes is probably good for MAXPAX. He does need more army. He's going to rotate left. Blinks in there. The DTs go for the planetary. Oh, he gets the planetary. Great move. Great move there. Goes in with 10 Dark Templar. Only loses 2 of them to kill that base. That's what he needed to do, but he needs more High Templar as well. He's only got 1 High Templar. That's a huge mistake. Storms are going to be so important. He's trying to rely on the Disruptors instead, but I really think High Templar at just 2 supply a pop and 2 potential Storms is very important to have peppered around this map, because they're what are going to slow down the Libs and the Vikings from chasing your army down. Those zoning storms are really important just to control the map a little bit. And right now, it's that late game syndrome top Protoss players have. It's, I don't believe in the storms because they're not killing anything, therefore I'm going to stop building them. But what usually happens at this stage, suddenly you don't have storm and the Terran just jumps on top and kills your entire army. This happens all the time. They have been serving a function. They have been stopping the Terran from diving on your army. I'm not saying they're just going to win the game, but having no High Templar is incredibly risky. DTs do get AMP'd, but they do escape with the blink on the left side. Nice move there. The Protoss army trying to chase this down, but he's going to get caught. Disruptors in the open. Disruptors in the open. 2 Disruptors go down. Clem does not chase up the ramp, though. Tempests are coming in, but there's still no Psy Storm. And I really worry if Clem can get a surround on this army, I think he just stims, A-moves, EMPs, and wins the game. His army is so much better if there's no storm zoning. MAXPAX trying to run around. There's no cannons in the middle. There's no storms. And that means it's going to be really hard. But he's found a small part of Clem's army. Good fight for MAXPAX. Would have loved to see him chase a little bit further. Doesn't quite believe in the power of it. And those Libs, man, when those Libs are sieged, really does create no-go zones for the Protoss army. The Templars can pick off those Libs from behind. 1 High Templar has been added. He's only got a few Disruptors. The Disruptor doesn't even get his shot off. Clem just dives forward with no Storms to inhibit him. He's going to disrespect this army. No Disruptors and no Psy Storms equals a very happy Terran and a very unhappy Protoss. 1 High Templar finally comes in, lands a Storm there. You can see how much damage that does, especially to Libs as they siege up on the Storm. Those Libs getting popped with no more Disruptors, no more Storm. MAXPAX can't hang in there. He's out of gas. He's out of gas. He's spent his last gas on Tempests, Stalkers. But if you don't replace your splash damage, it goes from good fights for Terran to absolutely astoundingly one-sided fights for Terran. And that was really nice play for Clem. Very confident in the late game. He weathered all the storms earlier, and MAXPAX actually lost faith in his splash damage to do what it needs to do. Problem is, like I said, I mean, this is something we see every time top Protoss players, if they run into that late game wall, they stop making High Templar, and the Terran just dominates suddenly. Clem played very efficient, even from the mid-game, early mid-game. His holds were spectacular. He's been roughly 2-to-1 efficient all game long. Twitch chat pointing that out. I do agree. He played this map really nicely. I think MAXPAX did overstay with some of his fights down there. He's very close to forcing huge mistakes out of Clem. Just couldn't quite get it. Hey, he does get himself a command center. Nice move. Those DTs still running around, but Max is out of gas, man. He's mining 700 a minute. It's not enough to replace his units. Nice Storm to at least zone the army, but it's so tough, man. And as we've said earlier in this cast, late game is Terran favored. Mid game is Protoss favored. Is the general consensus from the pros right now across the matchup. Ghost Bio Viking doing really well there. Got a stutter step away though. The Archon getting a few good shots off on that Viking. Sorry, that was an accidental zoom. It's accidental bad camera work, not on purpose. Bio does clear the top left base. I think Clem wise here to just pull his forces together. Oh, good Stalker Blink. Gets rid of a few of these Libs. And the other Libs focusing the wrong direction. This is a really good push for MAXPAX. Oh, I love the way he's kind of caught him out of position and fighting away from the siege units. Problem is, it's just a ball of Zealot Stalker, right? With a few Tempests. So that little section of Clem's army is more than enough. MAXPAX GG's there, of course, because these guys are coming home. The Stalkers weren't going to be able to get out. Units lost time. Stays at 2-1, pretty much start to finish. Yeah, I think, like I said earlier in the best of 5, I think it was game 1, right? There's a point where when the Terran's just sitting there, usually somewhere around the 10-minute mark, you need to make a decision. And that's either you go mass gateway, you build a gateway here, you build a gateway here, and you say, I will not let you get a 4th base, and I will just keep going, and it either works or it doesn't work. Or you embrace late game, you build your Cannon Tempest, Cannon Storm outpost here, as a point where you can like siege them from and always fall back to, and you just basically Levi Templar and Tempests and Cannons everywhere. And it's a weird style. It's very patient, but I think you have to lean one way or the other, because we saw that if MAXPAX kind of pokes and prods but doesn't find the opening, I mean, Clem's Warp Prism defense, like these Vikings and stuff, was so good, and his multi-prong defense was so good. It felt like MAXPAX maybe needed to do a little bit more to hammer it home, but after the previous hold earlier on his 3rd base, MAXPAX was probably a bit too far in supply to just finish the game, and that's why we could just see it was just constantly him poking in and Clem handling it too well. Well, we're going to go to the final game to decide this series. GG's. All right, guys, it's all going to be decided on the mothership. MAXPAX with the home ground advantage down here in the bottom. Clem in the top right invading the mothership. I'm not sure how he got through these shields you can see on the top right of the screen, but... Oh my gosh, is the mothership on fire? Okay, this mothership may actually be wounded, guys. Is this like a... It's like a Battlestar Galactica situation, or what's going... Actually, maybe... Are we like... This kind of looks like an entry burn, right? Like kind of like on the shield. It kind of looks like... Are we... Oh my god. Okay, guys, don't go to the edge. The planet bugs out. Pretend we didn't see this. What? The planet bugs out. You're not meant to see this edge of the planet. Oh no. Yeah, I was thinking maybe the mothership's plummeting through the atmosphere, guys. It does kind of look like an entry burn going on, right? That's kind of cool. Just don't go to the very edge and zoom the camera around. All right, Probe's going to scout in the wrong direction first. It's double gas for Clem. It's a 3-player map. And it's a map where the expansions get spread pretty far out. I do wonder how this is going to go. Also, guys, can you fly past the shield? Or is that an air blocker? Does anyone know? I haven't played much on this map. Is this an air blocker, the shield, or can you just fly through this? Because I imagine the shield's an air blocker, but I haven't actually tested it, so I don't know. Excuse me, sorry guys, just burping to the mic. It is an air blocker. Okay, so basically these corners are unusable, guys. Is that shield is actually an air blocker around the entire map, which is cool. Okay, so very similar to the other 3-player map we've been playing with recently, whose name I can't remember right now. Reactor first. I do like the reactor first. Clem mixing it up a little bit. He's got a lot of workers on gas. Oh my. Oh me, oh my. Double Reaper. Hello. Alright, we've got the pretty straightforward opening for MAXPAX in this final game. And what? He's 3-gating. 3-gate. Oh, we haven't seen a 3-gate in... I've cast so many MAXPAX games recently. I haven't seen him 3-gate in a while. It's been a while, and as a result, Clem might have forgotten about it. 3-gate's really good for stopping. If he goes 4 Reapers, 2 Hellions, which I think Clem's probably going to go for here, it not only shuts that down defensively, but the counterattack could be brutal. Yeah, he's doing it. 4 Reaper, 2 Hellion. Ooh. Okay, we've got the gateway there as well. Pig, I'm 6'1", 164 pounds. Do I need to just eat chicken and rice, or do I need to do steroids to get bigger? I mean, you need to eat fat. If you're 6'1", only 165, you can eat some fat, dude. Lift weights, eat fat and protein. You need both. You don't need to eat rice and chicken. You just need any protein. You can eat fatty lamb, man. Go for it. You just need to slap some meat on, you know? Get in there. Lots of protein, lots of anything. You need lots of non-protein calories as well. Gateway in the top does get found. Bunker not building. Guys, why is he not building a bunker? He's going to try and beat this with pure Reaper Hellion, the Mad Dog. Is Clem crazy, or is he a genius? I think he might be a genius. The Adepts are going to stand and fight. 2 Reapers have gone down. 3 Reapers. This is a mistake for Clem. He shouldn't have traded that many. He could have cleaned this up much easier. 3 Reapers for 2 Adepts. Oh, he's pulled 2 SCVs. Is that enough? Okay, he's going to try and man mode this, but those 3 warp-ins, he does take out the Stalker, but it's an overcommitment. And now these SCVs are left in the lurch. But wait, the Reapers are here. He's going to keep fighting. Never mind. Remember, though, gateway warp-ins are so quick. He can warp in the depth every 23 seconds or something crazy. Here we go. Stalkers fighting pretty damn well. The Reapers do go down. Yes, another unit went down, but the units lost time. Very competitive. The Hellions going to go across the map. Clem's going to pull back to the high ground. His Cyclone's halfway built. I think he should be okay with the Cyclone, right? Drops the Mule on the high ground. Raises the depots. The Hellions going across are going to be a real problem. MAXPAX, watch out, bro. I think he needs to recall. I think he needs to recall, guys. 2 Hellions are going to ruin his mineral line. Oh, okay, he does warp in. He's going to rely on the warp in. SCVs, 3 of them do go down, trying to keep that depot alive. The Cyclone is out. It's locked onto a Stalker. MAXPAX with an instant pullback. Hellions going to the main. They've killed 3 probes. Meanwhile, the Cyclone! The Cyclone! You can't lose the Cyclone, my man! He loses the Cyclone! He let him in! Why did he lower the depot, guys? Why did he lower the depot? I don't know. The Hellions only got 4 probes. They've been cleaned up on the other side of the map. The SCVs do get the Citizen's Arrest, though. Oh! Taste my drill! That's what the SCVs are shouting at that Stalker as they drill him. They drilled him as well. MAXPAX got that one surrounded also. What a shit show of a game right now. There's a tank coming to the low ground. I don't know if he can siege that. He's going to try. Only 1 Marine, 1 siege tank. The Stalkers can move in. He's got a 1 siege. The SCVs have to fight as well. The Stalkers run in, force the unsiege, and quickly run away. Nice moves here for MAXPAX. Dude, this is a crazy choice right now. The SCV's fighting with this tank. They kind of have to. The Stalker, great focus fire for Clem. He does take out down in the depth and a Stalker. He wants to siege the tank, but you know those Stalkers might catch you while you're sieging, and that's exactly what's going to happen. MAXPAX goes for it. The tank is going to get a shot off, but the Stalkers get in minimum range. Clem gets overrun. Clem, his aggression bites him in the back and in the butt, sorry, and at the end of an epic, exciting series, MAXPAX manages to win it. He wins the best of 5. He wins the best of 3, which he had to win because he lost 0-2 earlier to Clem. Clem finds the gateway. Honestly, guys, if he builds a bunker and chills, I think he's in a pretty decent spot, but he got excited. He said, hey, you don't realize just how many units I'm building. I am going to overwhelm you. Now, to be fair, actually, I take it back. I think if he microed better here, he wins this game. And this is actually the correct call for a guy who's as good as Clem. For me or anyone else, choosing to fight the proxy and try to overwhelm it is the stupidest thing you could possibly do. For Clem, I think it's reasonably smart. I think one problem he had is these Reapers, why did they not rally down straight away, number 1? And the Hellions as well. I get he wants to kind of repair the Hellions, but these Reapers should have rallied down all the way to the front. But he sits there for a few seconds, which is a big mistake. What are we doing? These guys should be over there. I don't know if he's trying to bait the Adepts in or something, or what, but like, I think he was getting too fancy trying to bait the Adepts in, and then losing that Reaper, then that Reaper. He lost the Reapers. Losing 3 Reapers, if he pulled them back, let them regenerate, this would have snowballed, because he'd have to run away right now, lose an SCV or 2 or whatever, and then he'd come back with like 6 Reapers and 4 Aliens and just kill the 3 Stalkers so easily. I think this was micro mistakes. I think he was trying to set a trap. He didn't need to. He should have committed everything to kill the pylon, and he should have just microed the Reapers better as well. Unfortunate mistakes for Clem, but MAXPAX wins a hard-fought series. We see that Clem kind of dominates MAXPAX in late game, but MAXPAX is still very good early and mid game, and right now that seems to be the game. Is like, yes, sometimes Clem can win early game. Mid game is MAXPAX, late game is Clem. Who's overall favored right now? Generally, Clem wins about 2 series for everyone he loses to MAXPAX historically. I think in a week or 2, I'm going to check the stats from the last month and really see where this matchup is stabilizing between these 2 specific players. I don't think it'll tell us too much about everyone else's PvT, but I'm just really curious to see if this matchup is still going to be Clem favored. Because I think even in the last patch, which was the Protoss favored patch, right, in PvT, I still think Clem was beating MAXPAX more than losing to him. It was mainly Classic and occasionally Hero that were giving Clem troubles. Anyways, that's my musings. Hope you guys enjoyed this series. Thank you for watching such a long series, and I'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget to check out the Patreon, links below in the description. Appreciate your love. Like, subscribe, comment. See you guys later. Goodbye and good night.